Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Sources Virtual Summit brought to you by Gamba. We're now into our third session of the Global Sources Summit, focusing on branding and product development. And good morning, Megla.
Good morning, Karen. How are you doing today?
Great. And hello to everyone around the world. Good evening, good afternoon. So do type into comment box to tell us where you are and what time it is you're in, because I know people are watching in the middle of the night. We had a comment yesterday saying it was 2 a.m. at their side, so that was really touching. And thank you for being there with us. Yeah, and for those that missed our session yesterday, don't forget to watch the replays, which are available on Global Sources YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. There was some very insightful discussion and information shared. And also, if you want to get the latest information about our summit and our happenings, register on globalsources.com/summit, and then we'll send you the latest update. And you can also join the exclusive Telegram group where people will share the insights, and some speakers are there as well, so you can ask questions. So, yeah, Megla, what should we say next?
Yeah.
Let's mention.
Look at
I said
that. Gabby
the
is here. Gabby
Dubai.
from Dubai. Good morning,
Hi,
Gabby.
Dubai.
How are you? What time is it for you there, Gabby? So, yeah, I was just gonna, tell people to let us know in the comments where they're joining us from.
Yeah.
So, if you are here, if you're watching us live, let us know where you're joining us from and what time it is for you.
For
We're literally
for you
from all
everywhere.
all continents, right? Everywhere.
Well, for me, it's 7 a.m. How about you?
For me, it's 4:30 a.m. and I've got my coffee, and I'm
Yeah.
awake. I'm awake. So Melbourne, we've got Rich from South Carolina at 7 p.m. That's a nice time. 3 a.m. for Gabby. Gabby, you're a trooper. This is going to be
Thank
so
you,
worth it,
Gabby.
Gabby. We've got great content for you.
Yes, and don't forget to stay till the end of each session because there will be prizes. Before we go to the process at the end, we have some special offers from our sponsor. I've mentioned that our summit was brought to us by Gamba. So let's watch a video on Gamba, and then I'll tell you what's on the offer. Okay, that was the video from Gamba. They've offered us an ebook on product development strategy. So go to bit.ly/Gamba-ebook and you'll be able to download it. Neil had a very interesting session yesterday about product development. And then Stephen Blusky from their marketing department will be with us again this afternoon. So you'll be able to hear more from Gamba. And then our headline sponsor and our event partner, TechPeck Co. was also one of the sponsors for our event. Let's see their video. Yes, and Belinda from TechPeck was with us yesterday morning during the first session. She shared a lot of insights with Blueprints, TechPeck. So if you missed that, do go on our YouTube and our other channels to watch the replay. She has offered us 10% off all her services and product in her shop. So use the code Global Sources 2020, and then you'll be able to get the special offer. Okay, so we have a very packed morning today, well, packed session today. First of all, we'll have Andrew with us. Let's add him to the stage. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Good
Andrew.
evening
How are
to
we
you.
doing?
Doing so good.
Where are you right now?
I am in my office in Kansas City, Missouri. So right in the middle of the U.S. I see Over here in the comments, we have people coming in from everywhere. I think closest to me is probably Iowa. So Chuck, hello, thanks for tuning in. But to everybody around the globe, I know it's early in Dubai. We've got early morning in Melbourne. I know Megla and Karen are both up, or either they got up early or haven't slept yet. I'm not sure. So you guys just cut them some slack. But no, it's super exciting to be part of an international event. It feels really cool.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Andrew was part of our panel yesterday, and he is an expert in marketing. You have marketed over 300 brands. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's hear more insights from Andrew on how to brand your product.
Awesome.
Okay, Andrew, the stage is all yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Just stay close in case I can't get the slideshow working. I want to make sure everyone can see the slideshow.
Of course, of course.
Okay, awesome. If I go here, what is seen or what is not seen?
Nothing yet.
Nothing
we need
yet.
to.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. I'm checking. You have to load this. You're trying to share a screen, right? I'm just waiting to be loaded into the system. There. Okay.
Bingo. Okay, we got technology fixed. We're set from here, guys. So, awesome. Let me tell you just a little bit about myself. I have been in the Amazon e-commerce space for 11 years. Nearly the entire time I've been working with as a service provider. So, 11 years ago in the Amazon space, there wasn't really an industry. It was Upwork, it was Elance, it was, people working within companies, or maybe some private label brands were definitely started, but there weren't a lot of people providing services for other sellers or people trying to develop brands or build their brands. And I kind of fell into it. I was an e-commerce manager. First, I went to a startup, then I became an e-commerce manager. And as soon as I found e-commerce, I just fell in love. I went to school for computer science and had a networking and programming degree. I just didn't love it in the corporate world. And once I found e-commerce, it was a perfect blend. My company's name is Marknology. And I believe that e-commerce sits right in the middle of marketing and technology. And that's kind of the thinking behind the name. But what I wanted to do today is really just share what I've learned through failures, through some wins at times. I absolutely am extremely passionate about e-commerce, about branding, and all that goes with it. I think it's so much fun. I'm nobody from nowhere. Bootstrapped my business. We are a team of 36 now here at Marknology. We are a full service Amazon agency. We have about 40 plus brands we work with now. Anyone from a solopreneur all the way up to, Fortune 100 companies, several Fortune 100 companies. So we run the gambit. We're an Amazon partner. And I won't just be talking Amazon. I want to talk all e-commerce, but my experience definitely does come with an Amazon background to that. So I am looking at the comments, and if anyone throws anything in there, I'll do my best to address any questions as we go. It obviously is more fun if you guys engage, but I know for some people it's probably early morning or they're at work and have this on in the background or something like that. So I appreciate everyone's attention. Thank you for being here, and let's jump in. So we're talking about building a brand, and we're talking about product sourcing and we're brand building, and everyone has a definition for what branding is. For me, it's consistency, and it's that emotional connection, it's that emotional thing that you feel whenever you see a product or a person or hear a song, or that feeling you have toward a product is really its brand. And I know that's a little outside the box interpretation or definition of what brand is, but I think that is really the difference. Everyone can say it's brand this or brand that, or build your brand. If you're trying to exit, you need a brand. What does that mean? It's a feeling more than it is anything else. And if you know anything about the human psyche, you know that our emotional brain works much faster than our logical brain. And so a lot of times it's that emotion that you feel in a photo on Amazon that happens first. And after that, the logic of why should I buy this? And so branding is really important. It's important to sell a higher priced item. It's important to last the test of time, like ups and downs in the market. It's important to stand out. It's important as a digital brand because it's the way that we come in contact with our customers. It's absolutely everything. And it's the one thing that everyone's trying to do and that they're not doing well. So I wanted to share maybe some of those things that I wasn't doing well, or that I learned in the past, or that I've learned with brands that are struggling to kind of make this happen in their own business. And what is it really? It's nothing unique that's never been around before. In fact, it's storytelling, and it's just reinterpreted for a digital consumer. So let's jump in. Building a brand. uh, what are we going to cover? So I'm going to talk about defining brand, which we talked about that a little bit. Expectation management, what you should be expecting as you build this, or the good, the bad, and the ugly stories, and then a winning formulas framework. This isn't something you have to buy. Everything's free. But what is a framework, a simple framework to begin with, if you're thinking about building a brand? So key takeaway. I really am. Something else unique about me is I know I'm a redhead. I'm here in Kansas City, Missouri, but I was actually raised. I was born in Montreal, and then raised in Africa, specifically Congo, and Cameroon. Congo when I was a teenager, and I've just always been outside the box. At the beginning, it was made me weird, and now it's actually my brand, I guess, in some ways. And it helps set you apart. So as you start learning business and you learn how to apply these different things, being outside the box is just my natural disposition. And so I think an advantage I have, or something that I can give you guys that maybe someone else can't, is simply an additional perspective on things, not just branding, but additional perspective on maybe a way that you've thought about branding or building your brand in the past. And if I can, that's extremely valuable to see something from a different side. So the key takeaway from today that I want for you guys to have is an additional perspective on what building a brand specifically on Amazon means. So why is this important to you? Why should you tune in? Why should you engage? Why should you care at all? Well, branding creates sustainability over time, and we're all in business to make money, whether it's about the freedom that money brings, whether it's about not having to be at the 9 to 5 that you want, whatever the case might be. Branding creates sustainability over time. So how are you going to take those the products that come and go? Well, you build a brand, and regardless of what products are being sold through that brand, you'll be relevant far into the future. So like I said, with Marknology and kind of the name and the thinking behind that, Marknology really being e-commerce being the center point. And so if you have e-commerce, you need to understand marketing. You also need to understand technology, and you need to understand how these work together. And so I'm a bootstrapped entrepreneur. I was actually in debt when I started Marknology, my business. We turned 8 in August. I was looking for ways to get out of my school loans. I was looking at ways of paying off some of my credit card debt I had built up over the years. And as I started being like, okay, I think I have a business model, like people need this Amazon help, people need help here, I started thinking of a name. And Marknology came to mind because it was something just goofy I was using in the office. Because as an e-commerce professional, this was even early 10 years ago. So as an e-commerce professional, I was hired by the technology team, but I worked with the marketing team every day. And I just seemed clunky inside a business. And it was really, I need these two teams to work together. And so even departmentally 10 years ago, before I knew I had a business, I was calling us the Marknology team. And I just carried that forward. One thing I think that's super important to think about is in your business, most of us, what got us here won't get us there. And I think that there's a level of success you can find on Amazon or in a direct to consumer business or an online business that's based off of data. Great sourcing, great data analytics. You found a product when it was just trending. You're getting a great deal on some arbitrage goods. You're using your math brain, I guess, so to speak, to make the algorithm work. And the next step being build your brand. You have to get creative. You have to get storytelling. You have to be able to talk about yourself, talk about your story. And so a lot of times it's like, hey, all that math or all of those things I used before are not going to get me to the next stage. And whether we're talking about branding or not, it's something even as I grow my businesses, have to think about all of the time, where the systems and process and maybe even just the amount of work that I carried, I can't do that as if I'm trying to go to the next level. So think about all the time, what got us here won't get us there, and allow yourself, as we kind of go through this and brainstorm, to release some of the ideas maybe you had about your brand, whether that's your personal brand, whether that's your products, whether that's an agency, whatever it might be. try to keep that front of mind. What got us here won't get us there. I think it's one of the hardest things to do in our personal development, but it really is one of the most important. So curiosity and data. What does that mean? Well, it's what I started focusing on early, that made me pay attention to branding. So whenever I first started on Amazon, there was brand registry one, I think, for any old time Amazon sellers out there. If you wanted to have videos or great photos on your listings, a lot of times you had to be selling to Amazon 1P or direct to Amazon. Um, and it wasn't until later, 2014, 15, 16, when advertising came out and brand registry 2 came out, and that Amazon started giving the ability to brand yourself on Amazon. And this can apply to websites too, so stay with me. But specifically to Amazon, I was working as an e-commerce manager, and I worked on the side. I was on Upwork, and I actually got top 10 in the world on Upwork through working with brands there and getting reviews. There was just simply no one else doing Amazon at that time, so I was kind of winning by default. Not to toot my own horn too hard. I was simply winning by being in the right spot at the right time, and just doing good work. But it was these first things in Amazon, like the e-commerce, the job at US Toy, it was brand registry coming out and Amazon paying attention to it. It was things like Vendor Express, this little like in between selling platform that Amazon had in between the 1P and the 3P, or first party and third party sellers. And these things were coming out, and I was able to add a video, or I was able to add photos, and it just really had my attention. And when I was on Upwork, I landed a client. I worked with Adidas, and I had no business working with Adidas. I still didn't know anything at that time, but they had amazing assets, and they had access to Amazon retail through Vendor Central. And I was I was essentially helping them onboard a new brand of Adidas, some smartwatches that they had acquired this company. And they had amazing photos. So it was like just lifestyle photos, and I was creating these A+ pages and just really made it look beautiful. So I didn't have to be the photographer, and I didn't have to be the graphic designer, but I had great photos. And I put those in place, and I just really saw those listings come to life. This was like 10 years ago, before it even became kind of common knowledge. And I was like, there's no way I'm trying to work on brands on Amazon or accounts on Amazon that don't have this ability. Like, I want full access. I want to be able to control it. And so I started just really focusing. I saw the results, the data of the conversion rates going up, and the amount of sessions from people clicking on my photos, and my advertising improved because I improved the listings and they had these great photos. So I was like, why would I even care about selling without these things? Some of the other things that made me focus on branding were low ad budgets. In the early days, the brands that were focused on Amazon were just really small. These were mom and pops. These were people trying to leave their 9 to 5 and scrounging up their credit card dollars to launch products on Amazon. So branding was a way that if I converted better on the page, or I got them to come back because they liked our brand once they opened the box, the package, it was a way that with very low ad budgets, I was making the most of that dollar. And it was, for me, I wasn't just in it for business. I truly was obsessed with e-commerce and obsessed with the Amazon algorithm. I was just like really intrigued by it. And I could try this thing and I could see results in 15 minutes. It just really had my head spinning. And so I was trying my best to succeed for all of these sellers that I was working with. There's also a lot of fear in the Amazon space. So, oh my God, well, I don't want to run Facebook ads to Amazon because I can't track my pixels and I don't know what's happening. And they're just capitalizing on my data. Well, what happens if aggregators come into the space? What happens if Amazon shuts me down? What happens if I'm selling Nike shoes and then Nike decides to block anyone else from selling it? Well, if I had trademarks, if I had brand registry, if I had control of the content on Amazon, I was taking action to be successful on the platform versus just waiting for whatever was going to happen to come and start selling on my product or take the buy box from me or shut me down. And so it was a way for me to continue to be engaged in Amazon, but in a more positive way than just looking at all the hackers and the black hat and the fear and things like that. So for me, it just fit my personality. My brand was to take action instead of just kind of waiting on stuff to happen. And then I was getting amazing results at the same time, selling higher priced products than the competition. I can't tell you guys how many times I have a #1 bestseller on Amazon through the years that's higher priced than everyone else. And if you're going to sell a higher price item in the market, if you're hand making it, if you've got real leather compared to fake leather, if you've got made in USA versus imported, like whatever you're selling proposition is that makes it more expensive, branding and good storytelling and great content allows you to sell a higher price item, because your customer comes, you need to know who your customer is. They can't be the value buyer, but they come, they see your content, you're doing a good job of explaining to them why your item is higher priced than the next one, and overall you can make conversions. So the kind of results of these different things made me just continue to come back and say branding matters, branding matters, branding matters, branding matters. And I wanted to give you some just real examples on, everyone throws this word around like it's fluff, and anyone that's real data driven in their personality or in their thinking really looks at branding and creative a lot of times as, and I'm speaking in generalities, guys, but they think about it in fluff. And to me, it wasn't just fluff. I was making changes and seeing the data and really just getting excited about the results. Defining brand in the context of also defining brand in the context of Amazon, but also generally, let's talk about where branding exists. So branding exists in personal brand. There's the Andrew Morgan's brand here as a speaker today. Sure, I'm on behalf of Marknology, my company. But if I was just a coach or a speaker or a mentor or a guru, as they call it, we've personal brand. And that's why I do think every one of us that has a LinkedIn profile or a social media or a resume has a personal brand. But companies, places and locations, like you walk into a coffee shop, you walk into another coffee shop, and you feel the same in both of them. That's Starbucks, for example. Online, if someone comes across me on social media and then goes to my website and then goes to my Amazon, does my branding drop off? Does the emotion that they feel from seeing my images or reading our content or reading about the team change whenever they meet us in person? And then in person, I got the greatest compliment the other day. We had a client fly in to visit, and they had a consultant with them, and she worked 20 years for P&G. And if you know what P&G, Procter & Gamble is, you know that they are the big time. And she was here advising the company that was here to visit on choosing us and working with us and the kickoff, the engagement, and all of that. And she pulled one of my execs aside and said, I've been at Procter & Gamble 20 years. I've been all over the place. She said, you guys have one of the best cultures that she's ever experienced as a team. And that just that's what I live for. And if I didn't believe that, then why am I in the business of this, right? So she said, just from the moment they got introduced to me, to the proposal that they received, to the kickoff online call, to the meeting in person, to meeting with our team independently of each other, asking them about the business, to the references that they called about us, our branding and our culture was consistent across the board. And I don't think you can really get better than that. When someone has engaged with you online and then they meet you in person and that consistency is the same, ultimately we've built trust and relationship in a world where it's harder and harder to get it. So really pulling all of these things together is the magic. And I share that just to say, wow, to be able to see them in person and then feel the same as they felt, because we don't get to meet all of our customers in person, and to get that feedback from someone that had been in the space a very long time was the ultimate goal. So Andrew, you're asking me this rhetorical question. How did you learn about brand? Where did you first get started in brand? Well, this one is a fun one. I like talking about some of my goof ups so that maybe you guys can relate to them. But when I first moved back from Africa, I was in Kansas City a bit. Then I went to university in Hawaii. I moved back to Kansas City in 2007. And I'd been playing music since I was a kid. And I was just in Kansas City and didn't want to be there. And I wanted to travel and explore and create. And so music was kind of just that was a natural thing I gravitated toward. I tried out for a band, and 4.5 years later, I hung it up, but we were touring full time. This is some of the pictures of that. And really what it was about was I was learning to have a cohesive look. I was learning how to, from our albums to the products we were creating with the music itself, the booking tours, the booking, creating shirts and merch, the flyers that we would create for MySpace. If anyone remembers MySpace, these were all things that, that might be a product insert now, or that might be something a little different than that. But I was learning really what it is to create consistency across everything that you do. And I really feel like music, while there was no money attached to it, still taught me a lot of valuable lessons in regards to what labels are looking like, to bring your album or bring your band into their label, the feedback we'd get. A lot of it was very branding focused. Out there, two things about branding is because remember, guys, we're talking about defining brand, right? And reality check. Why do you need it? This commercial, or this, start on the left, and your opinion is not the one that matters. I think the original creator, and don't fact check me on this, was actually trying to make something for a boat, some kind of mechanical design, and he was out in public with it, I think, at a meeting, and he dropped it. And it was a slinky, for anyone that doesn't know what this item is on the left. And essentially what he dropped just started walking itself. If anyone's ever seen a slinky, like a really good slinky, it can just kind of go forever. It can go downstairs, or it can move across the floor with some good momentum. And he invented something that a lot of us have got hundreds of hours of joy from in the slinky. And while he was like, this is a mechanical design product for whatever, the market saw what he had made, and it didn't matter. He was off to the races. The other one here on the right, I'm not going to speak to it directly, but hopefully a picture is worth 1,000 words. Burger King came out with this ad. In their mind, it didn't matter what they were thinking, is what I'm trying to say. Perception is reality. Because your brain is thinking one way around that image, that's the actual fact of it. And so your branding, it's not just your opinion, but it's how the market really perceives what you're putting out there. The messaging, is it ego or is it confidence? Is it true a sustainable thing, or is it something you're just doing for a marketing effort? So there's example after example after example here, but it'll blow your mind away. You got a girl, open eyes, looking at it, at the sandwich, and then they've got the size of it here. They completely missed the ball on this one. And there's story after story after story of some of the largest companies in the world really hurting their brand with some ads like this. So you have to double check, especially in a cancel culture that we're living in now, especially here in the US. It's more important than ever to understand exactly what message your brand is putting out. Let branding do the heavy lifting. What do I mean by this? Well, good branding over time builds trust with its audience. So when I say heavy lifting, it's like you can either sit there and every sales call I get on for a brand that's looking for help on Amazon or full service management, I can run them through our exact brand story. I can tell them all of our facts. I can just case study, results, screenshots. Or I can let my reputation and the trust that I've built over 11 years in this industry. And if you Google Marknology or you Google Andrew Morgan's, you're going to see that we have had content out there that's on point, that's on brand, with what we stand for and our values and our results for years, whether it's YouTube, Marknology's YouTube, whether it's our website, whether it's different guest podcasts I've been on, whether it's our podcast Startup Hustle. The branding itself, a lot of times the customer feels like they know me before we even have a conversation. And in a space where marketing is rarely trusted, because a lot of marketing companies are very sketchy, I said, what better thing to do than to build trust and focus on trust and putting out content that builds trust, whether it's products or services. A great brand over time builds trust. The second one would be this trust can then be leveraged into sales, which is what I was saying. If they feel like they trust me, they know that I know what I'm talking about because there's been content out there on the web, or you see, you land on Amazon and an Amazon page to make it relevant to Amazon. You land on an Amazon page, you see great photos on the left. The A+ page is designed perfectly. The content is even speaking to the elephant in the room. They've addressed reviews. The brand is talking to the reviews. Oh my gosh, this everything looks beautiful. Well, subconsciously, I'm trusting that if they took that much time and care to speak to me as a customer and invested in content and branding, I bet they also care about their product and they've developed a quality product. And you can buy the product and then find out that you're wrong, but that sale still happened. And that's what trust and that's what good branding does. This is a Nike product. It must be good. This is a Lululemon pair of leggings. This must be good. This is a Mercedes Benz. It must be good. Why? Because those brands have a trust and a track record of developing quality products. So what kind of heavy lifting can branding do? It can do of passing the message along of quality, passing the message along of consistency, passing along the message of popularity, passing along the message of value and of worth. 5 things that I think having a great brand can do.
Hi.
Hi.
Just a little heads up. You have 5 minutes left.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's jump along. I was tracking time here, but I think I'm a little behind. These slides will be available to anyone tuning in as well. Do we have time for a Q&A or can I just wrap out the 5?
You can wrap after 5, I guess.
Okay, cool. We'll keep it fast. So
Okay.
expectation management, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You cannot build a trusting relationship, whether it's through branding or it's in person. Running. It can't be done overnight. It can't be done in a month. You can't expect someone that's clicking out content for you to be done in a month. It takes time to build brand, to build trust, just like a relationship would in real life. You get what you pay for. Stop trying to go as cheap as you can when it comes to great branding and content. It shows. And then you don't know what you don't know. Branding can have amazing effects. We've launched products that with a great story that had a conversion rate of 48% for 3 years running. So without knowing that, without having done that yourself, you don't really know the impact of what your stuff can do. For trademarks, Amazon says, hey, get a trademark. That's how you build trust. And the game really changed when Amazon started focusing sellers on getting that trademark to register themselves as a legit brand. These are the things brand registry can do that can be found. Some people say no branding is its own thing. No branding is bad. And I think specifically on Amazon, you have these brands that care a ton about social media. They care about their direct to consumer, their retail presence. You come to Amazon and it's missing photos, it's missing images, it's missing bullet points, or you open the box that you bought online and there's just absolutely no inserts in there, no packaging. That's a very bad experience. So I've got some examples here. I'm going to skip them because of time. Just talking about how having something in place like a photo or an image is not it can show sloppiness. It can show all these words, someone trying to slam a bunch of SEO into a product page like this wooden puzzle toy. Well, that doesn't create the emotion that we're trying to create with branding. That doesn't say, hey, my little baby girl is going to love this toy and she's going to learn a lot. She's going to play for hundreds of hours with this toy. Instead, it's a bunch of words that mom needs to read. Texture, makeup, big thing. These are just, these could be boring product photos on a white background. Instead, we've created some life, brought these to life with texture and powder. Not too much words, very visual, right? It's an emotion. You're buying makeup because of the brand. You're buying makeup to look beautiful, not to read facts. So create consistency across your products. It doesn't have to be copies of each other to create consistency. Build it top to bottom. Don't just invest in one area and not invest in the others. I think that's been the main issue with Amazon is people not caring about it as a channel, and now it's one of the largest in the world. So carry that through from start to finish. Some of these are stories that I just took a product that was a lot like other products out there. Maybe they were late to market or something like that, and really just tried to stand out with some diversification. This was a product here on the left that was doing well. We went back to the drawing board, even though we were having good results, and came out with Waggity on the right, less scientific, more color friendly, less text. People are looking on smartphones. They don't want to read books in your bullet points and your A+ pages. Make it consumable for them. So you can see here, they're not horrible, but there's still a step up. There's still a level up when it comes to making stuff clear and concise and localized to the American market. So we've got plenty here. I'm going to end here, Karen. I don't see any questions in the comments coming through, at least to me. So we don't have a lot of Q&A, but hopefully we didn't run over time. Karen, are we good on time?
Yeah, we're good on time.
Okay, awesome. This is, I'm just going to talk about where people can contact me. We went kind of fast, but if anyone wants to talk through some of this more, or they have a brand they're trying to launch, I'm on LinkedIn. YouTube, Instagram at Andrew Morgans. You can find me at marknology.com. I'm here for you guys. This is free content, just to share with you guys about how you can take, a product that you love, or you're trying to bring a story to life, and the little things like too much text and an image can really turn off your customer, and you're so close to really reaching your customer, and you're just a small little tweak away, or a creative idea away from really bringing that to life. So thanks everyone for their time. So we had to rush through. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So what's the biggest mistake you have seen besides people not having a brand, not branding their products?
I think people avoid what they're not good at or what they don't appreciate. Almost everyone sees it through their filter. Like, well, it's like, well, that doesn't matter to me, so everyone must not care about that. Or I look online and I see everyone just buying the cheap item. I think it comes back to, you don't know what you don't know. And the only way to know is by trying and failing. And so, what I say there is just try to open your mind. What brought you here won't get you there. And, just try different things, see if other people interpret your products the same way you do. I think you should be able to look at your photos, whether you're on a website or Amazon, just look at your photos alone and know exactly what your product does for someone, or how it can help them, or what it can do. Not because it's full of facts, but because you visually tell the story of those products without ever reading the text. And I think, if you can kind of take a step back and really evaluate whatever you're doing in that way, you'll level up from where you are.
Okay, thank you very much. That was great. As mentioned by Andrew, you can reach him at marknology.com. So if you have any questions, do fire away. And then I'll also share his slides afterwards. So do register for the summit, and then you'll get his PowerPoints. Okay,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. Bye.
Bye. And that was a lot of branding. And then, okay, up next, we have Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Vanessa.
How are you? Yeah. Vanessa is the founder and CEO of Online Seller Solution. And she'll tell you, she'll handle all the unsexy stuff for online selling for you. And her topic today will be targeting a new marketplace within the American market. But before that, I just want to say hi again. And then you do a lot of Spanish podcasts, right?
Yes. Well, I have a Spanish podcast.
Okay. So, I hope you'll cover some of those sexy topics in your presentation. I'll pass the stage to you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I'm going to start sharing the screen here. So, thank you so much for being here and for the invite to Megla and Karen. Today, we're going to talk about the Amazon secret algorithm and how you can conquer new markets in the US. I'm going to be specifically talking about the secondary language that Amazon provides to in some marketplaces. This one is specific for the US, but in Canada, it's for the French market, and in countries like Europe, each country has its own secondary language. So the theory that I'm going to be speaking about works for those countries or for those marketplaces. But today specifically, I'm going to be talking about the opportunity that we're missing in the US by not targeting this market. So before we jump into how to do it, and at the end of the presentation, I will tell you the tactics, like the things that you can do right now to start targeting that audience. And also we'll tell you more about what you can do after you have the right experience. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the science of selling. So we in the space being obsessed about how we can optimize more, how we can sell more. And we have events like this that are amazing that will teach us what are the newest tools, strategies, or techniques that we can start implementing in our brand in order to grow. And the thing right now is that I realize that there is a huge space that we are neglecting within the US market and other marketplaces with secondary language that we're not targeting. So for that, I believe that most sellers are blind to these opportunities, but that's okay. Don't worry. We're going to be talking about that. Before we jump into the actionable steps that you can take to translate or target this market, I'll be touching a few points on why this market is important, a few statistics to prove you that it's worth it to do it for your brand and for all the products that you have on Amazon, and a little bit of the backstory of why Amazon and when they did it. So, as you may know, or probably you don't, but Spanish is the second most spoken language in the US, which is huge because we have a country with a population of almost 400 million first people. So within that huge demographic, we have the Hispanic demographic that accounts for 63.6 million Hispanic consumers. And these are official numbers from the government. But I wanted to mention that it's very important to understand that for Amazon.com, which is the US marketplace, many of the countries in Latin America, South Central America, they use Amazon.com to shop online. They use it because there is nothing in the countries in Latin America that have the offer or all the things that Amazon have. So this number that I'm putting here is just for the ones that are living in this country, but the demographic is even bigger when we see the big picture and how we can target those audiences outside of the US, which they are already buying. So there is no extra work or legwork that we need to do to find them. They're already there. Just we are not optimized for them and we don't know they exist. So this demographic accounts for $2 trillion in consumer spending a year. So it is one of the most or the richest demographics within the space. And this is huge that we are not taking care of them or taking in consideration their consuming behaviors. And lastly, one of my favorites, and I'll be touching more on this, is that in the United States, from all the millennials, 25% of them are Hispanics. And millennials in this specific statistic is referred to people that are 35 years or younger. So let's see, this is why I think sellers are right now, when in the space is sometimes spoken about, or it is a strategy in some mastermind saying like, hey, you need to input Spanish keywords in your listings. You need to have something in the back end. You may drop some word or keyword in your product description, but that's not enough. Actually, that's not good at all because you're not optimized for the whole experience. So basically, you have the keyword in the back end, but you don't understand how to use it or how to convey the story for that specific customer. So this is how sellers look like right now when they have Spanish keywords in the back end. It's there, yes, but you really don't know where you're going, and this is not a long-term strategy. So just to understand who they are and why they matter for your business, one of the things that I want to deconstruct some myths that are behind this demographic. So thinking a little bit outside box, they are a very heterogeneous group. And with this insight in specific, I will touch more later on why they have niches or how we can build within that demographic different niches for our product. So very heterogeneous because the Hispanic market, which means that people that speak Spanish, come from different countries, different backgrounds. They have completely different consumer behaviors. That's why each culture or each country could account for a specific niche. And I'll be talking about keywords and the meaning on that and how we can target them in the big picture, because in the end, we want to target to the broadest audience within those 70 millions that are in the States. Another insight for that demographic is that they are brand agnostics. So I like this a lot, and I think it's very relevant for us as online sellers, is that they are not attached to big brand names. So they're more willing to test brands that are not really well known. So for us, that's great news, because what we're trying to build is a brand in the online, in the web. So they are more willing to do that than other demographics that are very attached to brand names. The other thing is that I found that they are review seekers and review givers. So one of the main key, or the main elements for them, or factor for them to make a buying decision is reviews. So they pay a lot of attention, and in compared to other demographics, they are more willing to give reviews. So if we understand that and we leverage that power, we can even have more reviews in our listings by asking them specifically. And if you use the tools that Amazon give you to request review within the experience in Seller Central, you will realize that some of your consumers, the people that purchase from you, have the preference of having the communication in Spanish. So if you want to know where to find them, probably you are already selling to this demographic, you go to the orders, and in the back end, you can see when you want to send them a message, Amazon will tell you what's their preferred language. And there is no way to find this like in bulk. It's very manual, unfortunately. But trust me, they are there, and I'll show you. If you sell in some areas of the country, you're probably already target them. And also because they are millennials, or the biggest part of the demographic is millennial, they are native online shoppers. So they are used to buy online. That's what they do. They are always in their mobile phones or devices in general. So they are there. We just need to target them intentionally. So within the demographic, and I mentioned that 25% of millennials, of all millennials in the United States, are Hispanic. Within that population, like just for the Hispanic market, 73% of them are Hispanics. And if you see the graphic that I have here, the expectation for 2025 is that there will be 40.2 million. So that's huge. If we start getting into those buyers, getting those eyeballs, we can penetrate that market very easily. And the amazing thing, guys, is that I'll show you how to do it without building a crazy platform of, oh, I need now to hire a whole team in Spanish, or I need to do crazy stuff. No, Amazon already give you the tools. You just need to start targeting them very intentionally. So, well, as I mentioned, if you are selling in some of these states in the United States, you are probably already selling to the Hispanic market and you don't know. So Texas, New Mexico, California, you can see in my screen which are the numbers. Very, very heavy. So the top purchasing power for that demographic is allocated in those states. So the story, why we need to start paying attention to what Amazon does is this is huge, because I started talking about this whole experience in Spanish and how we can leverage the tools that Amazon give you just this year. But the change was made in 2017. So in 2017, Amazon launched their whole website and app in Spanish. And I'll show you later what that means. Like, the whole experience is in Spanish. All of the menus and tools and everything is translated into Spanish, so the Hispanic market can have that experience. They don't need to translate that, or they don't need to pretend that they know English. The problem was that in 2017, they were using like the Google translation to translate the whole catalog, and it was not in real time. So they run the translation and got that, but it was terrible. And a lot of the catalog, so the state of art right now of the catalog is from that translation 2017. So if you created your AEST since 2017 or before that, you will probably have some discrepancies within the information that is shown to the Spanish-speaking community versus what is shown in English. So in 2020, they realized that they made a mistake there and created something that is called an algorithm called the neurotranslation machine, which is the new system that they're using to translate listings. And when they do translation, now it's like a AI machine that does that, that takes in consideration a lot of the context, a lot of the technicalities, and also the main 8 products that are related to that category. So it is more accurate than what we should have when we Google Translate stuff. Obviously, it's not having a native Spanish speaker translating, but the experience is 90% good. And in 2021, 2022, they start giving the option to upload information in Seller Central in a secondary language. So we see it like here, listing language. You will see English. Now the only option in the drop-down menu is Chinese. But I believe that they're working in the Spanish part. So the same way we have flat files in Chinese and flat files in English, I hope that in the future they will have everything within Seller Central and with flat files in Spanish, so we can start owning and putting that information in Spanish. So let's get to how this looks like. If you see here, I have a listing, and this is a pillow. I always like to use the example of the pillow. So this is the listing in English. You can see nice title. All the bullet points are there, 5 bullet points, and the technical details. So what I mean by in 2017 they launched their experience in Spanish is this. When you go to Amazon, you can toggle on the flag, the American flag next to your name, and you will see a drop-down menu. It is English and it's Spanish. For the US marketplace, those are the options. For the Canadian one, it's English and French, and it varies within the countries in the EU. So now, probably you didn't realize that, but when we click on Spanish, everything changes. And it's something like this. So I have on my left side, I have the English, and in the right side, I have the Spanish. So taking a look of the observations that we can do, you don't need to speak Spanish to realize this, is changes in the bullet points. So as you can see, I am missing a bullet point in Spanish. I only have 4. And the title, it doesn't have the information that this is a queen size set of 2. On top of that, in the Spanish title, I have the two last keywords are pesticide keywords. Antipolvo and antiácaros are pesticide keywords. So when I mean by we are not targeting or we are not speaking to the Spanish audience is this. Amazon already give you the opportunity to target that audience, and they will translate your listings, and I'll explain that why this discrepancy or kind of dating the 2017 and 2020 difference is that they are not updating or they are not translating your listings in real time. So they have an old version of the translation, and the older it is, the worse it is. So for in the consumer perspective, now if we put ourselves the hat of a consumer, I will mishear the point that this is a queen size set of 2. In the title in Spanish, nothing there says that. So for a Spanish speaking consumer, if they're looking for that, I'm already at loss. Like, I don't know that. I cannot know because there is no in the titles, nowhere in the bullet point says that. So that's why we see so low that the conversion rate for Spanish keywords, and if you do PPC in Spanish keyword, you can see it. The percentage, the conversion rate is very, very low. And I'll bet that is because you are not optimized to speak to them. So your translation is not correct. Imagine that your listing in English is a body of content. The listing in Spanish is the shadow. And this should be the same, like obviously one in English, one in Spanish, but this one has a discrepancy. So we need to close that gap. We need to close that breach in order to talk to the customers that we want and show them that we are what they're looking for. This is an example that I love. I found this in the forum, a seller that was selling these cameras. So I don't know if you can read, but in the title, this is a security camera for just one security camera. When Amazon translated the listing completely automatically, because we don't have control on the SEO or copy for Spanish or any secondary language, in Spanish, it says that these are 4 cameras. So the seller got a complaint from a customer saying like, hey, a Spanish-speaking customer that said like, hey, I bought this and I was hoping that they were 4 and not 1. So looking into that, there is a lot of things that we will miss if we don't optimize for that experience. And it's not only like loss on sales, but also we can get issues down the line with discrepancies of information in things like this. And this is not the first time that I see something like this. This is a forum, very obvious, very public, but I work with other sellers that had similar situations where the Spanish translation said something like, no, this is a pack of 10 when it was just 1 unit. Restricted, no, that's a misspell, I'm sorry. Restricted keywords, what I mentioned about pesticides, the system is not tracking that in Spanish, and missing attributes. So as you saw in this example, they are missing the 5th bullet point, and I see listings that are even worse, like no bullet points at all, no description at all, no A+ content, and we can update all those features to be in Spanish if we want to. So let's hack the system, how we can do it and why this is so important. And now, Vanessa, please tell us how, right? Just a quick thing and why this is the title of the presentation was Secret Algorithm in Amazon, is that the search results for a Spanish keyword is different, or they are different from what it is in English. So if we go to the example of the pillow, if I put pillow in English, I'll get the results in English. But if I put the same keyword in Spanish, the search results are different. And the theory or the what they put out there was that they use the relevance in translation based on the top 8 products that perform for a search query. So imagine that this is like a Frankenstein of a secret algorithm, but that we control based on our performance on Spanish keywords. And they take the top or the most related translation for that keyword, because in Spanish the word pillow can have different words. So in Spanish it can be 5 or 6 different words that could be a pillow. So they use those translation and start putting together like a Lego different results. So they will take from the search in English for pillow, they will take the top 3 and they will take the top 3 for the keyword that is, I don't know, bed pillow, and build that. So this is why it's a secret algorithm, because if we don't understand how the system works and how we can perform to rank there, it is virtually impossible that we can take this advantage. And it is very important, and here is where I agree with everybody that talks about putting keywords in the back end. The keywords in your back end will like ramp up your relevance in those translations, so you could rank easily and faster when you have those keywords in the back end. So the things here are huge, and this is huge, guys. The untapped ad potential that this has is massive. So when you go to a search in Spanish and look for the keywords in Spanish, you can see that the sponsor products or the placements for sponsors is so little compared to what it is in English. And that only tells me that nobody else is bidding on that. And from experience, I can tell you keywords in Spanish are way lot cheaper than what is in English. The other thing is the localization. Because there are different countries that speak Spanish and they have different cultures, you can have a product, and in the back of this, you can see a griddle in the back of this video. So the griddle in Spanish can be translated differently depending on the market. On the market, yeah. So, for example, Mexico, the word for griddle in Mexico is comal. The word for griddle in Venezuela is budare. The word for griddle in Argentina is parrilla. So, because those are three different keywords and they don't relate to each other, those are what I call micro niches. You can start targeting them individually, like if this was a different niche for your product. And the amazing thing here is that you don't need to do any extra product development. You don't need to create a new listing. You don't really need to do anything else more than just targeting them through ads and target them in the back end of your listing and updating the experience in the front end. So when they get to the listing, they understand what you're selling. How do you do that? So these are examples of cases that I done to do the listing translation. So the department on Amazon in charge of doing the translation is the translation team. You can open a ticket with seller support and ask them for a translation and update in your listing. If you call, or if the first person is like not helpful, or well, most people are not really helpful because they don't know that this translation team exists. It does. So don't get discouraged if the first person you call or the first email you send tell you, oh, this doesn't exist, and they send it to brand registry. Very, very common. You just need to keep being like consistent and like requesting, like, we need to speak to a translation team to change the translation, and then request the update. What this does is your body of content in English will get translated in Spanish, and it will be an exact shadow of that information. Probably.
Yeah, Vanessa, just a heads up. You'll have 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I'm good. I just have one more slide and that's it.
Okay.
So you have that information, and we will close that breach. We will close that gap. This is the first step that you need to do in order to start targeting that audience. So a few like conclusions on this is that this is a long-term strategy that you can implement to expand your business without leaving the US, without needing like to open new marketplace or creating operations in other countries. You will serve an underserved population, which is the Hispanic market. They are very used to not being taken care of, and this is why I see there is a huge opportunity, and also aligning yourself with Amazon vision. So before I close, and this is the last thing that I'll tell you, is that what you can do right now. So follow these steps. First one is the optimizing the front end. As I mentioned, you need to open the case, and you need to request to the translation team an update in your listing in case that your information in Spanish is not accurate. We cannot at the moment, because the technology doesn't allow us, is or having the listing translated by yourself and then send the information to Amazon. They don't allow that. You need to use their machine learning translation. But once we do that, this is the first step you need to do. This is the bare minimum, to be honest. Once you do that, you're optimized for that experience. Then adding keywords in the back end. So if you are already ranking and you already have keywords in English that are all over your product detail page and you're ranking well for those, and you have them in the back end, I will suggest you to sacrifice that space. And I'm not saying all of your keywords in the back end, but because we have so limited space, you will need to sacrifice some keywords for your best ranked keywords in Spanish. Then advertise on Spanish keywords. It is super important, so worth it. and the competition there is not much and it's very cheap. And also paying attention to the Hispanic holidays. So it's very funny because for the Hispanic market, holidays like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day are different. So now I tell you like what you could do if you have in your business Father's Day 3 times a year or 4 times a year. You're just because you pay attention. Remember that these customers are already purchasing on Amazon. We just don't know that they are there, and we could laser target them. So doing pro display and doing like lining deals when these holidays happen, so we can capture them after we optimize for it. So with that, that's everything that I have for you guys. I hope this is helpful. And I always like to end my presentation saying that knowledge is not power, implementation is power. So you need to go now there and implement any or all of the things that I told you here and start like targeting that huge market with huge amount of money that they're able to expend in our brand and intentionally working with them. So thank you so much. This is the information. If you want to reach out, this is the email. You can reach out to me, my team. We will take care of any of the questions. If you have more questions about listings translation, or if you want us to take a look and audit your listings to tell you if they're good or not in Spanish, because as you may realize, I speak Spanish. Other things are Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are always there sharing unsexy information about Amazon. What are the SOPs? What are the news? What are the programs that you can start using for your brand to grow? And our website, Online Seller Solutions. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah, that was a really insightful presentation and so much untapped potential in terms of Spanish. So, guys, let us know if you have any questions for Vanessa before we let her go. Lisa saying great advice. Thank you, Vanessa. So, Vanessa, what are you seeing in terms of people that have English listings? Are they using some Spanish keywords in the title or maybe in the bullet points? And does that have any impact, overall on getting the listing ranked for Spanish keyword search terms?
For sure. The thing that I seen that works the best is putting them in the back end.
Okay.
Because in the front end could work, and I seen listings that have some keywords in Spanish, especially when they are products relevant for that market, that they are like literally designed and nobody else in the States buy but the Hispanic market. But that information in the front end of English, it's not relevant for the search query rearrangement of results when we look for a keyword in Spanish. So backend information and being updated in the translation is what will lead that indexation or to index higher in that search. They don't take so if you think about it, if the English content or the English listing is the body for indexing in English, they're not taking that information for you to index in Spanish. So that's why I wouldn't waste space in my English listing to put Spanish keywords unless it is extremely relevant because it's a Spanish like product, right? Only in those cases I'll do it.
Okay, makes sense. Well, looks like there are no more questions over here. Stella is just saying thank you, Vanessa. So yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was a great session. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for your time today. Really nice seeing you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Have a
and
great
also
day.
Vanessa offered us a prize for the quiz at the end of the session, which is a free translation. So do stay till the end, and you'll win a free translation from Vanessa and her company. Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Okay. So up next, we'll have two supplier presentations. So first of all, we'll have William. Hi, William.
Hi, Carrie.
And we also have Megla here as our co-host.
Hello.
Hi, William.
Megla.
How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you.
Okay. I understand you have some patented iPad and phone stand to show us. But first of all, let's see the video from your company.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. So you'll have some slides for us to see about your products. Let me put that onto the screen. Okay, go ahead and do your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is William from Shenzhen Terran Technology Corporation Limited. Shenzhen Terran Technology Corporation Limited was built in the year 2005 with 17 years of experience in designing, developing, engineering, and producing economic products, which are favored and trusted by Lenovo China, Alcatel Korea, Alcatel Kensington, and renowned brands in American and European countries. Our factory is located in Shenzhen, near Hong Kong and Macau. We make custom ideas become reality, including rapid prototyping, tool molding making, metal casting, stamping, CNC machining, aluminum extrusion, polishing, anodizing, powder coating, and brand logo laser etching for economic products made from aluminum alloy, stainless steel, and silicon rubber. Let me show you around our factory, offices, workshops. We have a 5-member R&D team to serve needs for OEM, ODM design, patent application, and economics product upgrading. Production workshops are equipped with central air conditioning, dust-free, and anti-static assembly lines. Metal fabrication workshops for metal stamping, casting, CNC machining, and surface treatment are operated strictly following the safety and environmental protection requirements. Every step and processes of the manufacturing of our economic stands, including tooling mold making, stamping, machining, are completed in factory house. This is our best-selling patent X-shaped laptop stands with outstanding features, including sleek design, lightweight, 7-height, smooth adjustment, strong stability, wide compatibility, and easy to storage for 11 to 17 inches laptops, notebooks, and tablets. Our main product, including DIY brackets, tilt stand, city stand converter, swivel stand, gaming laptop pad with cooling fan, and RGB lighting, and monitor rider. For iPad tablets and mobile phones, we provide multifunctional stands like portable pocket phone stand, foldable brackets, and hot adjustment holder. Aluminum swap mouse pad, folding DJ laptop stand, magnetic wireless charger, game mouse pad with wireless charger, charger holder, and portable USB-C hub enrich our product category to suit your needs for economics and computer peripheral electronics. All of our electronics products undergo quality assurance procedures during every stage of fabrication and production, and full order can be completed within 20-day lead time. No MOQ for economic products per SKU online in global sources, and only 5 pieces MOQ for any stand with your logo brand's laser etched on. Our economic product has been presented to the buyer from different states and countries in the Global Sausage Trade Show, Canton Fair, and high-end private club. Appreciate the praise from Ken, Abbeville Solution, Ben, Canceling Company, and Joe, Food Stands Company in the United States. We are sure that you will be the next one to send us recognition and satisfaction of our cost-effective solutions, superior quality, and 5-star services. Contact me to start your project now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, William. So I heard that you don't have any MOQ, and even if it's personalized or with their specific logo, there's only 5 pieces MOQ, right?
Yes, quite right.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, you're showing one of your. This is the iPad stand, right?
Yes, the note laptops for laptop or iPad or tablets.
Okay, that's very nice. So do you have other products to show? Okay, so this is also an iPad stand.
Yes. Very sleek design. You can see this iPhone 4, right? The same size.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those that want to reach out to William to get his products, because there's no MOQ, very easy for you. You can just get one and try it out from globalsources.com/tenrocks.co. That is TENROX.co. Okay, thank you very much, William.
Thank you.
Thanks, William. Bye.
Okay, up next, we have Sage from Market Union. Hi, Sage.
Hi, Karen.
Sage.
Hi, Amanda. Hi.
Hi. So you have some kitchen products to show us, right?
Yes, I have a pepper grinder. And first,
Okay.
let me introduce our company.
Sure. Let me put your PowerPoint onto the screen.
Thank
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
Hi, this is Sage from Market Union. We are founded at the end of the 2003. We mainly serve the purchasing business of hard products for Western retailers or wholesaler both. We cover more than 2,200 customers in 140 countries all over the world. And the group has been listed in the top of 500 of China's import and export enterprises for many successive years. So this, as you can see, this is our showroom in Ningbo. We have office in 5 places of China. So whenever you come to China, you can call us, you can contact us, email us. You are welcome. Okay, so what's our business? What can we do for you? We can help you get the quality control, do the Q&A, SCR, and also we can help you design your products which you want. So here, the right part of our screen was our mainly products like LED lamps, head tools, plush toys, households, whatever. And today we are gonna show you one product. This one, the pepper grinder. This is a pepper suit. It was made of woolen and it has a base and a handle that you can easily put your pepper in. So as you can see, it's very good quality. So it will be your best bet to buy low but sell high and make a good profit. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave your questions on. Also, we also have a low MOQ.
Okay, thank you very much, Sage.
Yeah.
So, do you have any other products besides the pepper grinder that you want to show?
Okay, if you are interested about our company, you can contact us. I will leave my email. But now we just got this.
Okay,
That's
no
the
worries.
best choice.
So
Okay,
do you already sell to any Amazon sellers or e-commerce sellers?
This one is hot sale in Amazon, but we make them a set, so it will be unique and more price you can get.
Okay. Yeah, that looks very beautiful. What material is it made from?
It's the walnut, a kind
Walnut
of wood. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. For those that wants to reach out to Sage and understand more about her product, you can go to globalsources.com/market-union.co. And I'm sure she has a whole range of products to share with you there. Thank you very much, Sage.
Thanks,
Sage.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So that was some interesting products. So up next, we have another great session by our speakers. Let's invite her to the stage. Hi, Emma.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Emma.
Both.
How are you?
I'm doing well,
Doing
thank
well.
you.
I see that you're in a very nice bedroom right now. Is it evening for you?
So it's not evening quite yet. We're actually in the process of moving. So we've been based in Missouri for the last 6 years, and we're currently moving to Las Vegas. So I have a very kind friend who is letting us stay with them until we're able to move into our condo. So this is the little casita that I have been working out of all day.
Okay, that's very nice. So, Emma is going to share with us about how to fix your listing funnel to increase conversions, boost rank, and build customer loyalty. So are you ready, Emma?
I am ready.
Okay, thank you. You have any PowerPoints or anything to share?
I do.
I'll put that on the screen for you.
Go ahead and share my slides now. Should I upload with this share slides or just share my screen? Probably share my screen is easier.
Both would work.
I will do this. Okay. So I'm going to go full screen so I can really see what I'm talking about well. Please feel free to interrupt with any and all questions that you have. I'm a firm believer, and if you have a question, it's better to get it answered in the moment than waiting and maybe not understanding something to the fullest. So today we're going to be talking about fixing your listing funnel, and why I'm really excited about this in particular is because Amazon has just recently allowed access to some really awesome data if you are brand registered. So before we get into that, here is a quick little intro about me. My name is Emma Shermer-Tamir. That gentleman to the left of me is my husband and business partner, Erez. We started Marketing by Emma in 2016, and we specialize in helping e-commerce businesses create copywriting that's really going to help them connect and convert with their dream customers, be that an Amazon listing, a website, or any of that core foundational text that communicates who you are, why you're so great, and why customers should buy from you. So the first sort of thing that I want to kind of address and set the tone, because I think it's so important, and I realize we're talking about, getting more sales and ranking better and really building a powerful brand that you can leverage into all sorts of other opportunities. But something that we want to be thoughtful about from the very beginning is that we want to minimize the wrong type of sales. So whether that's impulse buys, whether that's somebody not understanding your product properly, we really want to make sure that we are communicating clearly what your product is, who it's for, so that as many of the right customers are purchasing your product and then having a really fantastic positive experience with it. So what does it take to make a sale that sticks? We need the right customer, we need to set the right expectations, and then we need to deliver the right experience. So being clear about who is and isn't your customer is vitally important. And then making sure that all of your creative, from your text to your keyword selection to your imagery, your design, all of that is working together to really speak to your target market. You need to establish the right expectations. So if they're are perhaps some things that your product isn't great for, or specific circumstances that you need to be careful about, you want to be sure that you're addressing those head on, that you're not just overselling for the sake of hyping up your product, but then not being able to fulfill those expectations that you're creating. And then, of course, delivering on that experience. So when the customer actually receives the product, that they're going to be thrilled with it, that it at the very least is going to align with their expectations of what the product is, if not exceed them. And when you're able to do that, you are able to attract more positive reviews, repeat purchases, people that are excited about what your brand is doing and wants to see the other things that you're selling. But doing it poorly can lead to negative reviews, can lead to poor customer experiences, can impact your seller account health, and can have a lot of negative repercussions that will really get in the way of your overall business objectives. So we've sort of laid the groundwork for some really important kind of concepts to take into this next section, where we're going to be looking at this new data that Amazon provides us and how we can utilize that data to really optimize our listings so that from start to finish, you are attracting the right kind of customers, you're giving them the information that they need, and you're helping them make the decision to buy your product. So Search Catalog Performance Dashboard is this new data that we have access to as Amazon sellers if you are a registered brand. And so how does this align with the customer funnel? First, we have impressions. So impressions are where you are. And this information specifically is information about how your listing is performing organically. So it's how it's ranking organically for certain search terms, and then how it's performing based on that. It's not factoring in your actual advertising and the PPC that you're running and all of that. So that is an important caveat to consider, but that doesn't mean that this information isn't important. If anything, you can use this information to really strongly optimize your listing to make sure that then when you are spending money to drive traffic to your listing, that you're able to drive the right kind of traffic and that you're able to convert as much of that traffic as possible. Otherwise, you could be wasting a lot of money. So impressions, that's the first sort of, introduction to your product. Then somebody's going to click into your product. They're going to add it to cart. And unless they're clicking buy now, then they're going to still have to purchase after that. So what does that actually align with? Your impressions are how you're sort of appearing on the search results page. So how many people are searching a particular keyword and then having the opportunity to click into your listing if they wanted to. So what is that really reliant upon? That's reliant upon a strong keyword strategy, really great, making sure that your SEO is well honed so that you are able to appear there in the first place. Now, there are other things that are also going to impact your SEO in regards to the Amazon algorithm and how you rank. So everything from how you're actually converting customers and how the experience that you're delivering and all of those things. So it really is a flywheel where it builds on itself, but the starting ground level is having that really strong SEO optimization in place. Next, we move on to clicks. So this is, what are you doing to make sure that people click into your listing versus any of the other listings that are out there? So what do you have that's available and visible on the search results page? On desktop, you have the title, you have your main image, you have your price, your reviews, maybe a coupon. On mobile, you're also able to scroll through all of the product images. So that's something really exciting that we're not necessarily going to dive into today, but that could really impact how many more clicks you might be getting. So I would recommend that's something that you explore a bit as you kind of enter into this whole world of listing optimization. So if you're having low clicks, it could be that you're not doing well, one of those pieces well, or a combination of those pieces well. And we're going to talk about some strategies that you can use about how to address the title in particular. Add to carts. So low add to carts, that means that there is something that you are not doing well within the content of the listing itself. Maybe you're not describing the product clearly. Maybe you're not helping people understand how it compares to the competitors. Perhaps the images are not clear or not high quality. You aren't conveying enough trust. There's something there that's making your product page unconvincing to the customer. And then I know that in the past it was like add to carts. That's what we are looking at. But no, it's actually purchases that we really care about. We want to make sure that people aren't just adding it to cart and then kind of thinking about it for a few days, or maybe then eventually moving it to their wish list. We're really wanting to maximize how many purchases we're getting. And if you're having customers fall off at the purchases, then there's a high likelihood that you are doing something that is not a good enough job of convincing people why your product is the optimal product for their needs. And so that's how these all sort of work together. We want to make sure that first we're driving the right kind of traffic to the listing, that the right kind of traffic is getting the information they need to confidently click into the listing. From there, they're presented with a great listing that's well optimized, that's beautifully designed, that has that compelling copy, that's going to convince them that this is the meeting all of their criteria. And then it's also going to get them excited so that they want to go ahead and buy the product now. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is strengthening your SEO strategy to increase impressions. So that's the first part of the funnel. If you don't have this, then you're going to miss out on potential traffic that could be turning into paid customers. So let's take an example of wrinkle patches. Specifically, these are wrinkle patches for your face, something that you would put on targeted areas of your face to minimize the appearance of wrinkles or crow's feet, things like that. So I'm a customer, I'm going to Amazon, I'm searching for wrinkle patches. And if I look at the first 4 organic results of this site, I have a few different options that are all kind of giving me different information, and some of them have better, clearer SEO strategy than others. Now, I want to draw your attention to the product page all the way on the left. And you might look at this and think, this is strange. It doesn't actually say what it is. There really aren't any keywords there, and yet it's in the #1 organic rank position. How is that possible? Is this just suggesting that keywords don't really matter, that you don't have to have a great title? No, what this is telling us is actually, if you do a little bit of research, you will discover that Frownies became a viral product on places like TikTok, which then are going to naturally drive a lot of product directly to Amazon and people wanting this. And so it's going to kind of help it artificially give the impression that those things matter, but in fact, they have so much external traffic and people writing about them and influencers talking about them that it's giving them a boost that they wouldn't have if they were just needing to elevate their product page on their own. So what could we do if we were wanting to help Frownies perform better, not just through all of the external traffic? You know, maybe there's going to be the next new trend and this is going to be irrelevant, or some of their other competitors also get a lot of attention on TikTok. What can we do to help Frownies strengthen their strategy for people that may not also be familiar with all of the viral marketing that is happening on social media? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to be doing our keyword research, but it's not just about doing the keyword research. It's really about doing good keyword selection. And good keyword selection has a few different components that you want to be considering. You want to be considering search volume. You want to be considering how many other products are competing against that particular keyword phrase, and if that's something that you can be competitive on. But those are not where the questions end. This is something that's going to be front facing, that the customer is going to see, and that's going to be one of the things that's helping not only appear on that search results page, but then eventually is going to, want to be getting that person to click into your page. So you want to be thinking about what has high buyer intent. When someone is searching a keyword, searching for a product like mine, what kind of keywords are they going to be searching in order to find that kind of product? And if it doesn't align with that, or if it's maybe too general and falls more into sort of like a window shopping type of keyword, like an example for this category like that would be perhaps anti-aging treatments. That's a really broad category. There could be a lot of different ways that you approach anti-aging, everything from expensive LED devices to nightly skincare creams or masks to patches like this, and the list goes on and on and on. So that's going to be a more general word. It's not going to have that same degree of buyer intent as someone that says, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for forehead patches for wrinkles, and they want to potentially buy your product. So you want to be considering all of these different things as you're doing your keyword selection to decide what keywords to use in your title, in your bullets, in your description, in your back-end search terms, in your image keywords, and all of those things. So then we need to think about, okay, well, how do we actually use these keywords? Because some of them can be a little bit challenging to use in the front end. For example, this first keyword, frownies, forehead, and between eyes, 144 patches. To try to maintain the integrity of that full keyword phrase is going to be really challenging to do in a sentence. And so that's a keyword that would be better suited for the back-end search terms than trying to find a way to make a really awkward sentence or couple of sentences to make that work. Whereas you have forehead patches for wrinkles, and that's something that we can very easily put into a sentence. So an example could be, deep lines don't stand a chance against these powerful forehead patches for wrinkles. And so you want to go through your list of keywords and be thinking not only what are the keywords that I'm wanting to target, but then what are the keywords that I can put in front of a customer, and what are those keywords that would be better suited for the back end. And if it and you need to be honest with yourself, because it can be really tempting, especially when you're seeing really high search volume, or you're using some of these tools that are telling you terms that are trying to kind of tempt you into using as many keywords as possible, that you really want to be thoughtful about, is this keyword going to make sense to the customer? And if it doesn't, then send it to the back end. So we've spoken about impressions and how we can really make sure that we're trying to optimize for impressions. The next thing that we're going to do is we want to capture more clicks. And when it comes to the writing piece, your title is really one of the key tools that you have. Unless you're on mobile, in which case then you also, since you are able to view your entire library of product images, you can also utilize text there in a really meaningful way. But again, we're just going to be focusing on the title for this section today. I mean, we could spend hours and hours and hours talking about all of these things in detail. So we're needing to be a little bit focused on some of the key components, but just know that there's much more that goes into optimizing every single piece of this. And also be thoughtful about, what does the word optimize mean? That means you make a change, and then you are going to be looking for data, and then taking that data and thinking about, okay, what is this data telling me? And how can I use that data to then go and make even more changes to have a meaningful impact on the objectives that I'm trying to achieve? And that's, again, why this new dashboard is so exciting, because it's going to be able to give you that real-time information that's telling you where you might be failing, and then when you make those changes, is it actually having a meaningful impact on the your listing optimization efforts. So dress your keywords up in important details. We don't want to have a title that's just a string of a bunch of keywords. So if it just said frownies, forehead, wrinkle patches for forehead, wrinkle patches anti-aging treatment, that would not be very customer friendly. So you first want to be thinking about what are the details that the customer needs to know at this point. What are they looking for when they are kind of just making the decision to invest a bit more time in learning about the product? So considering what information they need to know at this stage, but also considering what the environment of the competitive landscape is. So it's not like customers are seeing your title and only your title. It's your title against a variety of other titles. And so you also need to be thinking about how you can make your product stand out through your title, through your main image, through all of those things, so that customers also understand what makes you different or better, so that they can confidently click into your product and know that it's a good fit for their needs. So confusing is on the left hand. Frownies, forehead in between eyes, 144 patches. We don't really know what this is. It doesn't really have much SEO value. It is really just relying on all of that external traffic and brand recognition from people that are seeing these products across social media. So if we didn't have the good fortune of going viral online, how might we want to write a title? Frownies, facial patches for wrinkles, instant customizable forehead wrinkle and smile lines treatment, 144 triangle overnight anti-aging face lifting masks. Everything that is highlighted in orange is a keyword. So I'm using a lot of keywords here. I'm making sure that I'm getting a lot of SEO value. So I'm also helping with the increase my likelihood of getting more impressions. But I'm framing all of that through an approach that is really making sure that I'm helping customers understand what this product is, what it's for, how it functions, what I'm getting, as much information as possible, but still also organizing it in a way that's going to be manageable for me to understand. So I'm not just going to get kind of overwhelmed by a string of words. So the next phase in the funnel, clearly communicate and connect to amplify add to carts. We can't go into every piece of the listing. We can't go in depth in the title and the bullets and the description and the A+ content. But some of these concepts are things that, even though we're going to be looking at it through the framework of the bullets, these are concepts that you can apply to every single part of your listing. And I would really encourage you to do that. The more thoughtful that you can be about every single section, the more impactful the listing is going to be as a whole, because some people will be window shoppers and other people will be the kind of people that just love making sure that they're always buying the very best, and they like doing the research and digging into reviews and really comparing products against each other. And then there are plenty of people that fall in between, that they'll read a little bit and then they'll look at some photos and then they'll look at the reviews and they'll bounce around. And so you really want to make sure that your listing is well optimized for all of those kinds of people, be they on desktop or on mobile. So now let's transition to a different product. These are a treat for dogs, odor-free bully sticks. So here are the organic ranking bully sticks. On the first page, we have 4 Natural Farm Barkworthy's Best Bully Sticks and Jack and Pup. They all look very similar, and none of these are the product that we are looking to optimize today. Let's just give this product that we're clicking into the benefit of the doubt that somehow you decided that you wanted to click into this product versus all of these other products that are better optimized, that have lots of great reviews, etc. Maybe you're just looking for a well-priced product, and this is most certainly that. So get organized to get orders. We really want to make sure that before we get into the creativity or thinking about how to really sell the product through compelling language, we need to make sure that we're organizing information in a way that's going to make it accessible to the customer, that it's going to be concise so that you can skim through it really quickly, and that you're going to address any important questions that a customer has about the product. So connect with the key buying criteria. This is a product, Chewy and Tasty is the brand. It has a lot of room for improvement. So right now, if I'm just skimming this listing, or if I'm using the headers to indicate what each of the bullets are about, bullet 1 would be premium, quality, and healthy. Bullet 2, natural flavor. Bullet 3, chewy and tasty. Bullet 4, chewy and tasty. And bullet 5 are tasty. So if I want to know where these are manufactured, I don't really know where to look. If I would like to know what, how many sticks this comes with, I have no idea. If I want to know what size dog or what age dog this is appropriate for, again, I'm lost, because these bullets are, some of them are a little bit big, particularly the first and the last one, but also they are not utilizing the headers in a way that's helping me effectively navigate all of this information. So we really need to understand, what are the important details that customers want to know about this product? And then how can I organize this in a way that's going to be quick and easy for them to find that information? So here is a framework that I've put together to create better bullets. Bullet 1, your unique selling point and your primary benefit. Bullet 2, important features and main buying criteria. Bullet 3, secondary features. So this is information that's still important, but might not be as important as what would go in the second bullet. Bullet 4, this could be the care instructions, compatible with, good for. This bullet is a little bit more flexible depending upon what category you are selling in and what product you are selling and what customer you are selling to. And then bullet 5, we really like to use for that trust and brand building purpose, to really help give the customer a sense of confidence and security and excitement in buying this product. So if I were to follow this framework for this product, and what's really interesting with this is, some of these things will just be straight information, but some of these other things, you might have a variety of different options to choose from. And this is really going to impact how you actually position your product, how you're going to market your product, and how you're really going to help it stand out against the competition. So one of the things that I noticed in doing a little bit of research in this category is that most of the bully stick listings out there neglect a really important function of this product, which is to help keep the dog out of trouble. So of course we want the dog happy and healthy, but this is also going to help occupy the dog, channel some of its destructive energy, so that at the end of a long day and somebody's wanting to sit down to eat a relaxing meal and their dog's like, hey, what about me? I want some love and attention. And because you're not giving that to me, I'm going to wreak havoc on your household. And I'm definitely not speaking from personal experience. I'm fully speaking from personal experience. My dog does this all the time. It's how I discovered bully sticks. It's why they are something that our household never goes without. And that is an element that is neglected. And so if I were this seller and looking for a way to go up against some of these big brands that have a lot of reviews and a lot of competition, I would think about how I can really position my product in a unique way to help it stand out. Even if it functions in the exact same way, if they're not talking about it, then it gives you an opening and an opportunity to really appeal to a group of people that might not feel like they're being seen or spoken to. For bullet 2, now I'm going to address the human a little bit more directly, speaking about the fact that it's long lasting, that it's odor free. Bullet 3 might be really great for talking about the fact that it's a single ingredient treat. It's 100% beef. It's nutritious. Bullet 4. So this is where I'm going to be talking about where it's sourced from and manufactured in, because that does seem to be a really important element really for any dog or animal related product, especially something that they're eating. And then bullet number 5, commitment to quality and ensuring a positive experience for the customer. So that's how I would translate that framework to this listing in particular. So we have a solid foundation for how we want to organize the listing. Now let's think about how we can really make this even more compelling so that people understand not just what the basic components of the product are, but why somebody would want to buy this. And I think it's fairly common when we're talking about marketing writing or listing optimization that we hear this idea of benefits. But what does a benefit really mean? A benefit is why somebody should buy this product, not on a superficial level, but what are the emotional impacts of having this product in their life? What problem does it solve? How is it going to fulfill a want or need that might not directly even relate to the functionality of the product? So an example might be, if I'm looking for a product that's going to help me find my keys, you could say, okay, well, the benefit is that I can find my keys, like one of those little trackers that you can put onto your keys, and then you can use your device to find it when you've misplaced your keys. So then you would think, okay, well, the benefit is that it's helping me find my keys. But actually, the deeper benefit might be that it helps me feel more confident and look professional to my peers, because it's helping me ensure that I don't waste 15 minutes trying to get out of the house anytime I need to leave because I can't remember where I put my keys. So it's not always a direct line. Sometimes there might be something deeper and less obvious there that could be a really valuable thing to dive into to connect more deeply with your customers. So let's
Hi, sorry, Emma, just a reminder, you have 3 minutes left.
3 minutes. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I will just say this. I will make all of these slides available for you, but this is an example of how you might want to dig into a benefit more deeply and how you can pair that with features so that you're not just saying, oh, this is so great and we'll do these things, but you're combining the very real value of features and why somebody would care about that, and then helping communicate that in a direct, meaningful way to get people excited to purchase. Then that last little step is really making all of this about the customer, connecting with their interests and concerns, and making them feel seen, which this is something that we've spoken about from the very beginning. And the better job that you can do that through every single stage of your listing, the more powerful it's going to be. So it's not just about helping them feel understood with speaking to those deeper benefits, but it may even be how you are presenting the people in your images to be a reflection of the types of customers that you are trying to connect with. So you want to be thinking about all of those things and really putting them together as a whole. So taking it from here's my product and why it's so great to here's why I know you will love my product, and let me address the concerns that you have and present this product in a way that's going to make you really excited and eager to buy and feel understood. And then really continuing to take it deeper and deeper and deeper. So understanding what makes you unique. Again, it may not have anything to do with the product at all. It really may be a matter of what is it that makes you special, what makes your brand unique, and how you can use tools like language and imagery to help your product stand out, even if it is in a very crowded category. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and confused by this, we would be happy to offer a free listing analysis for all of the attendees. If you go to marketingbyemma.com/GS2022, or you can scan the QR code, and we'll essentially look at your listing and dissect it in a similar way to what I've done with a couple of these listings today to give you some feedback about things that you can utilize to make your listing stronger. Or if you'd prefer that we help you with that, we would be more than happy to help you optimize your listing or create any of your marketing writing needs. Here are all of the myriad of ways that you can connect with us. And I apologize for mistiming myself and having to rush through that end. But please, if you have any questions after this presentation, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions you have or nerd out on any of these topics. It's what we do all day, every day, and I love talking about it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Emma. That was very insightful. So much information and so many tips just packed into 30 minutes. So, guys watching, if you have any questions for Emma, type them in the comments and we'll address your questions. So, Emma, I really liked your section on keywords. I find that a lot of sellers always get stuck on finding keywords and the right keywords. And I know you shared some tips on finding keywords. But where do you think people should go to find these keywords, right? I mean, what are the best ways of finding the right keywords?
A lot of it has to do with great tools. So I would recommend that you utilize the power of tools that are going to help you kind of collate information. If you are brand registered, then brand analytics is going to be a great place where you can get all sorts of information and you're not having to pay for that. In addition to that, Helium 10 is a fantastic tool. The new tool Data Dive also is a great way of sort of speeding up the process of comparing things like search volume and competition to really find out where there might be some keyword opportunities that you can capitalize on. Perhaps not too many listings are utilizing those keywords, and then you can find those gaps. And then it may also be worth, or not may also, it is really important that whatever category you're selling in, that you have your finger on the pulse of what is happening in that category beyond just Amazon, because it's possible that there may be some trends in play that if you can kind of get ahead of that. So let's say if you're selling a keto diet product 10 years ago, nobody knew what the keto diet was, but my sense of time is a little bit skewed. I don't know, 6-7 years ago, suddenly this diet became very popular. And if you were looking at things like Google Trends, you might see that suddenly people are starting to search keto diet. It doesn't yet have a lot of search volume behind it, but if you can find those early and then be the leader on those as it becomes more and more searched, then you could also have some really interesting opportunities. And then, of course, keeping on top of things like seasonality. And I mean, just keyword research alone could be its own separate conversation, because it is a very deep topic that has a lot to it.
Exactly. So I don't see any questions. Stella saying, thank you, Emma. This is awesome and helpful information. So if you want to avail of Emma's offer, she's offering a free listing analysis to all Global Sources attendees. So you can go to marketingbyemma.com and use the code GS2022 over there. So Emma, thank you so much for your time today. As always, great information, great insights, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Emma.
day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
And as Emma mentioned, using Data Dive as one of the tools to maximize the keyword. Just to remind everybody, Anthony Cofresco from Data Dive will be on later this session. So do stay with us, and he will share more on how to maximize your keyword search. Okay. So up next, we have Keith.
Yes, so
okay.
Let's invite Keith O'Brien. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Hi, Keith.
Hey, guys. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So, Keith, you are the founder and CEO and founder of Page.one, which is an all-in-one Amazon agency. And today you're going to be talking about video, which is such an important topic nowadays. I mean, there's videos everywhere that, not only on Amazon, but on social media, but especially on Amazon, they're just really emphasizing videos. So super excited about your topic, and let's get started.
Great. Sounds great. All right.
Okay, you have PowerPoint. You want to share your screen, or?
Yes.
Okay.
And everybody watching, as Keith is presenting, if you have any questions at all, please type them in the comments, and Keith will address the questions after his session.
Yes.
All right.
And also, just to mention, Keith was also very kind to give us an offer a free video ad with every video package purchase. So we'll show a link later on, and then you can just put in global sources in the message box, and you will get the special offer.
All right. Are you guys seeing?
We should see it in a bit. It takes some time to load, so just give it a few
So
more
Keith,
seconds.
where are you joining us from?
Outside of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
So what time is it at your place right now?
It's about 9 p.m.
Oh, okay. Oh,
All right.
So
Can I
you're
just share my
exactly-
screen, or do I have to upload these slides?
you can share your screen.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So you're about 12 hours behind. It's almost 9 a.m. at my side, and we started at 7 a.m. Megla started at her 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, I'm awake now.
Same. I'm trying to concentrate.
You guys should be able to see it now. Is it up?
Not yet.
Odd.
No worries. There's always this tech things when you do things virtually. Yeah. Okay. Still no.
Lovely.
Let's see.
Karen, do you have Keith's slides?
No, not yet. So I can't share for him.
All right.
So maybe Keith, you can email Karen your slides, and then you can start talking while Karen
I'll
can
put it
upload
up.
the slides.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, sometimes technology doesn't work.
Well, I had some technology issue yesterday as well, so I guess
Yeah,
it
you
happens to
suddenly
everyone.
disappeared. I was like, oops, where's Karen?
So
Then your computer restarted. Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
a risk with live sessions. And everybody watching, thanks a lot for your patience. Just give us a couple of minutes to address this, to fix this. We will resume shortly.
yeah, and don't forget, while you're waiting, do register at globalsources/summit. So then you'll be able to receive all the PowerPoints after the event, and also get the latest update. And most of all, you can join an exclusive Telegram group where you can meet the other e-tailers and also suppliers and ask questions. When I see a lot of cool sharing in the group right now. People are asking, "Oh, I want this type of product. You know anyone that does it? And you know anything that what I could do with this and that?" That's a really nice community in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we have over almost 1,500 people in that Telegram group, so it's pretty engaging. And also a reminder to everyone to stay until the end of this session, because we've got quite a few prizes to give away this time at the end of this
Yes.
session. So we've got one free account audit that's being offered by Marknology. And then we've got a free listing translation offered by Vanessa Hung. She just did an amazing presentation on why you should consider translating your listing to Spanish. And we've also giving away a free ticket to our upcoming India sourcing workshop that I'm going to be hosting in June. So stick around until the very end so that you stand a chance to win some of these cool prizes.
Yes, and for the India sourcing workshop, I have to tell everybody you should attend, because we're just talking about it during our sessions yesterday, because everybody is doing China Plus One now due to all the maybe disruption for COVID, logistic issues, etc. It's always better to diversify your source and not put all eggs in one basket. And also, you can find special products that you might not be available in China. So, Megla, you want to talk more about the workshop?
Yeah, absolutely. I just love talking about sourcing from India, because it's just such a unique opportunity. Like, most people are sourcing from China, but Karen, as you mentioned, there's just so much disruption and uncertainty in the supply chains these days, especially over the last couple of years. We've seen with COVID, and even now, with the container shortages previously, and then a lot of congestion at the ports in the US. So I think people do realize that it is important to diversify their sourcing market. And India is a great alternative to China because they have a history of manufacturing. They've been manufacturing for decades for larger retailers and brands. And also because of the large pool of labor force that's available. And that's one of China's strengths, of course, and that's what enabled China to become a manufacturing powerhouse. And India is in the same position right now. The government is really investing a lot in manufacturing and exports. And India's exports actually grew 40% year on year in the financial year 2021-22. So they're breaking records. There are lots of importers, brands, e-commerce sellers, all types of buyers looking to source products from India. So at the workshop, we're going to be covering the A to Z of sourcing from India. We're going to be talking about how you can find suppliers, how to vet suppliers, what products to source from India, what are the pros and cons of sourcing from India, some of the differences between China. A lot of people ask us, how does shipping work? How does logistics work? Is it the same? How long does it take to ship from India to New York or the US? So we're going to be addressing all of those questions. We're also going to be talking about how to negotiate with suppliers, how to manage cultural sensitivities. Building relationships is really important when you're sourcing from India. And so we're going to be covering that. Managing quality and inspections. Regardless of where you're sourcing from, it is extremely important to control the quality of your products, yourself. So we're going to be talking about that. We have a quality expert who's going to come in and share his insights. Then we've also got a logistics expert who's going to be coming to share their insights as well. And we also have an Amazon seller who's actually been sourcing her products from India for the last 5 years, and she's built an entire brand selling on Amazon US. So check out the workshop at globalsources.com /India-workshop. And this workshop is going to be held over 2 days. So each day we're going to be going for about 3.5, 4 hours. And it's of course live, but the recordings will also be available. So you can buy the workshop. And in case you're not able to attend live, you'll have the replays with you to see later. So
Yeah.
do we have the slides yet?
Because the file is too large, and I'm trying to convert it to PDF. Or Keith, can you try share screen? That might help.
Keith, why don't you just share your entire screen instead of sharing a tab? So go into share screen, and then share entire screen. Yeah, that will work.
Yeah, because I think my computer can't handle the file. It's too big. I have too much on my computer right now. Let's see if there's anything I can do.
Okay, we have the slides now.
Okay, cool.
Karen, you can share them.
So I had to convert it to a PDF, so we're going to lose all the animation. So we'll see how this goes. But we'll make it work.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we'll leave it to you then.
Sorry about that. I know Amazon stuff really well. Apparently, technology is not my thing tonight. All right, guys. So we're gonna dig right in. Thanks for that was a masterful stretching time by Megan and Karen. So thank you for that. Yeah, my name is Keith O'Brien. I'm coming out of to you guys tonight out of South Florida. It's about 9 p.m. here, and we're gonna dig right into video on Amazon. Okay. We're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to do it in a very short amount of time. I just burned a couple of minutes of my slot, so let's get after it. Okay. What we're going to talk about tonight is why you should be using video, not just on Amazon. Everything that we're going to do here, guys, videos, obviously for your products, you can use them wherever that you want, but I'm going to focus on really how to maximize your use of them on Amazon, because this is our area of expertise. Okay. So why you should be using video, where you should be using it, how to create videos that actually convert into sales. And then we're going to share with you from our production studio, our formula on how we stretch your video budget. And whether you ever do a video with us, this is a formula that you can use to go produce video on your own, to make the most of your budget according to video. Because that's really that's the thing of, the question I always get is, well, why don't more brands have video? And it generally comes down to cost, right? And so we're gonna dive into a bunch of things here of how you can really stretch that budget with or without us. Okay. So why are we talking about video for your Amazon business? Well, see, this is where my animation is not going to work. Okay. Because you need it, and what this slide says first, it was really clever. It was animated, right? Is because cost of conversions are going up. Your cost per click is going up. If you've been on Amazon for any more than a year, you know the advertising costs are higher and higher every single year. Okay. Now, this is assuming, like some of the other presenters tonight, like Emma, and some of the other presenters talking about optimizing your listings. Now, this assumes that you've already done these things. This is the foundation of your listing. Well-optimized listings, keyword-rich, persuasive copy, best-in-class photography and graphics, amazing A+ content, and a great storefront. Okay. Now, this is assuming you've got these things in place. And if you don't, and you're thinking about video, get this stuff done first, because your video needs a place to land if it's an ad. And if all of these other things stink, by the time they get to your image number 7, which is going to be your video, or in some categories now they're testing image number 8 position, right? Your video is not going to matter much if the rest of the listing is garbage. So get this stuff on point. Okay. The problem is, though, so many of the top sellers and so many of the products on Amazon already have all those things in place, right? So they already have optimized content and images and whatnot. Now, granted, there's still lots of opportunity, but an opportunity to stand out is with video, right? Because not every brand invests in it. Not every brand believes in it yet, right? Or they haven't put the time and budget aside for it. Right, it's just down on the list of priorities. And so it's an opportunity for you as a newer seasoned seller to really stand out and get people's attention. Especially on video advertising, the inventory available is still really good, right? There's only one video right now per page of search. And there's still so many keywords that just don't have videos. If you want to check it out, take your product, take your top 25 keywords, and go start doing searches and see if there's any of those keywords that don't have a video showing on page 1. And if they don't, then that inventory is going to be very cheap to buy. Okay. Before we dig in, just a little bit about us and myself. So if you've been around for a long time, then you would have probably heard of I Love to Review. We were the first product review service on Amazon. That company launched in 2014. I partnered into it at the end of that year and became the CEO the following year. And so that's where I got my start on Amazon. When the big review terms of service change happened in 2016, we launched our agency. And we have grown into a full service Amazon management agency. And so what's somewhat unique about us is that we have in-house teams for all of the big pieces. So content, listing optimization, photography, design, video, PPC, and brand management. So all of this is bundled in-house at our agency. So what's unique about that is the teams can discuss the entire suite of what's available and what you need, and really utilize that brand strategy all the way through. Okay. We've had some very successful clients, and they're cranking out hundreds of millions of dollars on Amazon every year. All right, let's dig in. Okay. So I want you to take a screenshot of this slide. You'll get all the slides later, but this one's really important because this really is what breaks down where videos live and what types of videos there are on Amazon. So the first is going to be, I've also listed these kind of in the order. I'll get into it in a second, but detail page. So this is on your actual product detail page. So you've got your images. As I mentioned, most categories still have 6 images plus video, right? Some categories now have 7 full images plus video. Right. I know home and kitchen does. And so Amazon just gave us that extra slot for a video. Now, I've got this funnel position. If you're unfamiliar with this term, it means the funnel is like this, right? Your customers start up here and they go towards the bottom, right? So something that shows up in search is going to be very top of funnel. Something that is on your detail page is very bottom of the funnel, right? The customer literally couldn't be closer to make a buying decision. And so bottom of funnel is on your detail page. Now, when do you need that? As soon as possible, right? What are the most effective creative strategies for videos? Product promo, unboxing, instructional assembly. Now, where would you want to use those, right? So most of what you see right now on Amazon is product promo videos, and that's a great use for it on your detail page. It's gonna, it's gonna be a little sexier. It's gonna tell a story. You can really, we have a full photography team, and I'll tell you, you can get into a story, into the emotional appeal of the buyer very quickly, much more quickly on a video than you can on a photo. Okay, so unboxing is another common one. The cool thing about that is they see what they're going to get. They're slightly boring, but they still are effective. Now, where might you use instructional or assembly? Now, if you've got a complex product and you're getting reviews or customer feedback or a lot of questions, this may be something that you want to get in front of and put actually on your detail page to really answer those questions. Because if a number of customers have them and are actually asking, then you know that a bunch more customers have those same questions and aren't asking, right? And they just might not buy because they're confused, or if they think something's too difficult, right? Then they're going to not do it. Nobody wants an IKEA situation where they get home and there's 1,000 pieces of something in a box and it takes them a week to put it together and you got 72 pieces left over when you're done, right? So this is something that you can get in front of those questions and really ease their nerves. So on your storefront, very underutilized situation with video right now on Amazon. You can do a little different. You can go a little bit bigger version and do a brand story. Like Emma said, if you have something that's really unique about your brand, or, maybe you're connected to a charity, or, it came out of this like the product that developed out of a family, situation, right? That works really well in the storefront. Product families. This would be where you could shoot, let's say you've got an entire line of products. You can shoot them all together for your storefront on either the home, and put it on either the home page of the storefront or within that navigation page for that product family. BTC is behind the scenes, right? This is underutilized on Amazon, but it's great. It's showing kind of behind the scenes look, maybe behind the scenes of a photo shoot, behind the scenes of a product being manufactured. It could be anything, but it's really super interesting because it's not used very much. BS, that's not bullshit. That is best-selling product promo, right? So maybe you dive in and you feature it as one of your best sellers. And then you can really do a lot with on your storefront. Now, not many people have Premium A+. It's mostly for if you're enrolled in Launchpad or something like that. You actually get video in your A+ content, right? So some vendors have it, anyone in Launchpad, right? And this is a great opportunity. You don't want to duplicate what's in your 7 images, but if you did a product promo on your 7 images, this would be a great place for your brand story. Or an interview with the founder, something like that. Okay. Now, sponsored brand video ads, they're very top of funnel, but you need them immediately. Like you want to be launching video campaigns as soon as you are launching with your sponsored product ads and sponsored brand ads, so that you can start seeing what the impact is, right? Now, these need to be done differently and created differently than all the other videos that I mentioned. Right? Because for this video to work, you have to stop someone searching in the scroll and get them to look long enough at your video to hopefully where they turn the sound on, or they just get to click into your listing. But it's got to be done in a way, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, so that it gets their attention. Okay. And really the goal of that sponsored brand video is just simply to get the click. Now, there's a lot of other emotional things that you can tag onto, but ultimately the goal is to get the click, a relevant click. Okay, so again, my animation, just trust me, the animation was awesome. It looks really cool, but it's not going to happen here. So I'm hoping that the videos play Ooh, okay. So look, what we did was we worked with one of our advertising partner, IntentWise, and we did this case study with them. Now, across the bottom, you have all the different types of ways that you can advertise inside of the ad console on Amazon. You've got sponsored products auto, sponsored products manual keyword targeting, which is what most people do, sponsored products manual product targeting, sponsored brands manual keyword targeting, sponsored brands manual product targeting, sponsored display product targeting, and then sponsored brands manual video. Okay. Now, the percentages are the click-through rates. All right. Now, this is the number of people that see your ad compared to the number of people that click on it. Okay. Now, this is super important because advertising is all about relevant engagement. And so now there's a lot of other factors that go into the ad performance overall. But I want you to just look at this and consider this for a second. The sponsored brand videos are getting, on average, 3 times higher click-through rate than the average of all the others. They're 2.5 times the next best click-through rate at sponsored products manual, right? So, guys, this is super significant, right? Videos have an opportunity, done right, to get more people looking at your listing than any other advertising form. All right, so here we're going to dive into this. Now, this is our secret juju, right, of creating video, and this is where it's at, right? And I'm going to talk about the differences of what you need between a regular video, let's say a product promo, and a sponsored brand ad. Now, this little script, this formula is for sponsored brand ads. Okay. Now, we live busy lives. We've never had more information bombarding us every single minute of every single day than ever before, right? It's just massive information overload. And so you've got to create a hook. It can be so many different things. And you want to do this in the first 3 to 5 seconds, preferably 3 seconds, because again, all the goal is right here is to get someone to stop, right? Okay. Now, I put this guy on the right here because if this guy on the right showed up in your feed, okay, then it's going to get you to stop because he looks a little crazy. He looks happy that he's crazy, but he looks a little crazy. Okay. So it could look at a lot of different ways. And this is where the creativity comes in. Okay. It's that first 3 seconds. You got to create a hook. Now, second thing to do is you got to tap into the pain and the emotion. You've got to, right? People buy things for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. To get closer to pleasure or further away from pain, right? Now, we don't think about that when we're buying stuff, but this is the psychological reasons why people buy. Closer to pleasure, further away from pain, okay? And that pain is related to a problem that they're having that they hope your product solves, right? And mention the same thing. So, guys, this is super important. It can't be overlooked. You want to dive into that and make sure you connect with it. If you want to, while we all think they're cheesy, you want to go take a look at how to really create that emotional connection, that pain point. Watch some infomercials, right? Okay. They're annoying, but you know what? The formula hasn't changed in 30 years. Why? Because it works. It works really well. Okay. Now, feature supported by facts, right? So you've got your pattern up, you got their attention. Now you're talking about their problem, which is why they're on Amazon searching. Okay. Now support that with features of your products, right? And smooth that into how your product solves their problem, and then follow it up with a call to action. Now, call to action is tricky on Amazon. You got to be very careful with it because you're not allowed to do a lot of things in video, right? And so you want to be a little ninja about the CTA and work something in there that will get accepted by Amazon. It's the algorithm when they're viewing and verifying if the video is going to make it. Okay. So let's take a look at an example. Now, Karen, Megla, I don't know if you're still with me. This should play a video. I don't know if it will or not. Probably not. Awesome. So that's cool. So right now, there would be this really awesome video on your screen. Okay. All right. So we're going to skip over that, guys, and I'm going to dive into helping you guys save money. Okay. So let's take a step back for a second, right? And remember I talked about, you got the last 2 slides ago with the hook. So I want you to remember this little formula. And as we move into how to save some money, I'm going to tell you how to do that. And remember this little theme here. Okay. All right. So this is what we do, guys. Okay. That's actually photos from our studio in Florida. We've got a full built out studio. If you look at the kitchen in the second image, that's a kitchen set that we built out into our studio because we do so many kitchen products, right? So what we do, and this is what you're going to want to do, is you want to plan out in advance and strategize everywhere on Amazon that you're going to need video, okay, for this product, okay? So let's say, for example, it's this knife set that they're showing off here. Where are you going to need, where are you in this product journey? Have you been going for a while and you're looking to add some new video ads, or are you just starting out? Or maybe you've been going for a while and you have no video content whatsoever, right? And think about it on Amazon first, but also think about where else you might use it, whether it be social media or on your website. It is much, much less expensive to plan it out all at the same time and shoot it all once than it is to have to keep going back in the studio and reshooting everything. So what we do, because we understand the differences of what would need to be changed in order for depending on where that video is going to live, right? So let's say the most common package that customers buy from us is promo video and at least 2 video ads. And I'll get back to why 2 is important, if not more. Okay. So what we do is we create the storyboard for that entire concept. Now we'll start with the longest video. Let's say it's a 45-second product promo that's going to live on your detail page, right? So we're going to create a story for that. Okay. And what happens is we then look at it once the story and we've got the hook and we've got the pain points nailed and we've got it supported by features and facts and we clearly show how the product is the solution and we've got as much as we can a call to action. We then start looking at those in little mini scenes, right? So we might have an opening scene and then a next scene. There might be 20 different scenes in the course of a 45-second video because we like to move things quickly to keep people's attention, right? Then what we do is we create multiple versions for those scenes, right? So we've got the hook, right? Maybe we create 3 different hooks for it. Maybe we create 3 different versions of the same hook. And I'm going to tell you why this is important, okay, in a second. Then we shoot everything all at the same time and invest in great editing. The video comes to life in editing, but you have to have the right footage already captured, okay? So every time you do a video for a product, you should not be thinking of, I need this video. You should always be thinking of, I'm going to produce multiple videos for this product to bring my cost down, okay? Now, a lot of video production companies are going to charge you based on the deliverables, right? So they're going to charge you for every single video that they shoot and edit and send off to you. Okay. We do it a little bit differently and we're going to charge you for the shoot. We're going to cut as many videos as we possibly can. Okay. So we kind of figured it out. We've been doing videos for in-house clients for years. We couldn't figure out how to price it right for the e-commerce industry because it's expensive and not everyone wants to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a video, right? But we can put a package together. We can cut you multiple videos. It brings the cost per video way down and it works fantastic. Okay. So what that looks like. And again, there's a cool little behind the scenes video that in your mind, can picture it. It's all of our studio. It's quite good. But anyway, you'll take my word for it on that one. All right. So let's take a look at a project example. And again, this doesn't mean you need to do it with page 1. I'm just telling you, when you go to produce videos for your products, this is the kind of formula that you should be following, right? Or at least it's a great idea of something to follow. So in one project, let's say you're going to get a 45-second video for the detail page, 3 25-second videos for sponsor brand videos. Now, why 3, guys? Most people come and they're like, before they talk to us, they're like, oh, I need a video ad, right? You want multiple video ads, right? The number of places that on Amazon that you now need to test creative for in order to understand if your advertising is successful, there's so many. And sponsored brand videos is probably the most important. So if you just do one video and you throw it up there, you're going to get the results that you get. And then you don't know what to do from there, right? So you don't know if you could get better results. You don't know if you change it, you get worse results, okay? So you want multiple versions to test, okay? And you can do that. It doesn't need to be massively different. In a lot of cases, we're just going to change up the hook, right? So because the hook's the most important part of the sponsored brand video, we might run, in this particular example, we would create 3 separate hooks, 3 separate opening 3 to 5 second sequences that are different in enough way that you'll be able to see different results and you can test to see which one performs the best, okay? So you're going to create one for the main storyline, alternate versions for numbers of scenes, and then you've got all this stuff shot, right? Okay. And when we do this, you can save money using the models across all the videos. If you have to sort out a location, props across all the different end deliverables, right? And this is how you save money doing video, guys. We've been able to produce, if you would have saw the video I just had up on the screen, right? That was the long version for the detail page, but we cranked out like 2 or 3 different versions of that for ads for the client. And the cost per video is under $1,000 in that case, right? So that's what it's going to be right around, but it just works really, really well. And again, so now you've got all this content, right? You've got all this footage that you can then, even if you've got all this raw footage, that then if you've got a good editor, you can go back to them. You can even rework it in different ways for your storefront and you can cut them into shorter snippets for social, anywhere that you're going to need it. But get all this stuff done. Whenever you have an opportunity to, when you're working with a production company, if they give you the opportunity, not all of them do, but like for us, you can actually purchase the raw video content, which is hours, right? It takes hours of shooting to get to this 45-second video, right? And so you'll have all this great content that you can repurpose over and over and over again, depending on where you're selling. All right, this video is awesome. I'm telling you right now, okay? This video is actually on our site. You can see it there. It's killer, right? And this is a great example. If you go to the site, you'll see it. It's for these monkey claw things that help you grip the bar when you're working out. It's great for like, anyone that's lifting like deadlifts or cleaning jerks or presses, anything you got to pull or doing pull-ups, they're awesome, and they get these grips that help you get grip on it. Now, if you go look at that video on our site after the conference, obviously, right? That video we shot, they had 3 products in it. So talking about bang for the buck, right? We had one, we sourced the location at a gym. We had 2 models, right? So those things could get expensive, but we have 3 products being featured in the main video. That video is used now on all 3 of those product detail pages. And then we did shorter versions featuring just one of the products, and the value to the customer, those videos are kicking butt. Okay. So to recap this, guys, okay, you want to have video in every possible place, okay? Every possible place that Amazon allows you to put it, you want to have video, okay? So the only one I didn't touch on is a direct upload. It's the video shorts that are at the bottom of the detail page. Have at it. Go to town, okay? But you can use video. You should use video as many places. So if you've got an opportunity to, if you look down your catalog, right, and you don't have a video on all of your best selling products, in everywhere that you're allowed, you're losing money. I promise you. Okay. You're going to customize each video to meet customers where they're at in the buying process. If you just use the same stinking video for your detail page and for your ad and for your storefront, like, sure, it may work, right? It may get you some results, but I guarantee you that it's not going to be optimal. It's not going to be the most that you could get out of each of those scenarios. You really need to understand where the buyer is at and meet them there. So they're going to want to see something different in an ad than on your detail page. Okay. And if they just think about this, guys, for those of you that are using the same videos in all these different places, if they're scrolling, they search for your whatever it is, set of knives, right? And then they see your ad and they watch that whole video. Then they go over to your, click on it, they go over to your detail page, and that same video is there on your detail page. Like, does that make you seem like an amazing brand or like budget, right? So think about it. Think about how everything looks and feels to the customer. All right. Remember to take people through the emotional buying process. If you're not touching emotion in a video, you've wasted your money. Okay. People don't want to sit through boring videos. I mean, you are competing with TikTok and Instagram and stories, Facebook stories, and there's constantly this fast moving video content that's in front of everyone's face. And if you're just sitting there, on a tabletop talking about your product, it's newsville, guys. It's just not entertaining and it's not interesting. Okay. And then lastly, really think about it and plan and implement strategically to stretch your budget, guys. Okay. What I've shared tonight can save you thousands and thousands of dollars on just a single video package. If you think about all these places I mentioned, that's another video for each one. And if you don't do it strategically, it's going to cost you a ton of cash, right? Which has a longer turnover to create an ROI. Okay. So I have no idea where I'm at with time. I'm probably quick because I had some cool videos to show and animation takes longer, but it is what it is. So here we are. I'm sure these guys will appreciate my session being so darn short. Okay. But what we're going to do is this. So here's the promo. So if you go to our video page on our site, it's just page 1/Amazon product videos. Okay. It's really more than a $3.99 value, but it is what it is, right? So we're going to give you 2 weeks. Okay. So even if you don't produce, like you don't have something to do right now and you want to grab the promo and save money, just go ahead and do it. But so what we're going to do is if you, any package you buy, we're going to add another video ad. So that means we'll create probably another hook for you. So if your original package has one, we're going to add a second. If you have two, we'll add a third, and so on and so forth. And that'll allow you to get some real value so that you can test those ads out and see what performs best for your product.
Okay, that's great, Keith. I just have one question for you. What's the common mistakes you see people making when it comes to making video ads?
All right, so that's a good question. So I think there's a bunch of them, right? So I'd say that the most common ones are you try to do it themselves and they're not videographers, they're not good editors, or they try to like hire someone on Fiverr to edit and they're just not that talented. And it ends up really looking bad, right? So, a bad video is still better than no video, right? For some of our clients, that spend a lot of money in advertising, Amazon actually offers to do these videos. And they're just put together with still images that on a carousel, right? So, and look, if you have no video and no budget, get your product photos, go to sign up for Canva. It's free, and just put them together in a little slideshow. It's better than nothing. Don't use that on your detail page with all the same photos because that looks really dumb, but you could use that for an ad just to test. So doing it yourself without knowing what you're doing is probably the biggest mistake. And then, everyone gets feature focused and they're talking all about all their features and there's no emotional connection. And same thing Emma was talking about with the copy, and it's just boring, right? And the engagement's going to be really low. So, but I think, you know, once they're there, if they go to produce one video at a time, that's a huge mistake, and it's just a waste of money.
Okay, great. For those who are interested in the videos that Keith was meant to show during his presentation, you can actually visit page.1. I just checked, and some of the videos are actually there, so you can have a look, or you can drop a message at their inquiry box and ask Keith more questions.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Keith.
You bet. I'll provide the slides in Keynote that you guys can send out, whatever the case may be. So they'll be in there ready to play.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Keith. Bye.
Have a good evening. Bye. Okay. Up next, we'll have two supplier to show us their products. And this supplier just matches the perfect season right now because they're into traveling. And because everything is back to normal now and people are having road trips and everything. So first of all, let me invite Semi from Dongguan Bikatsu. And yeah, hi, Semi. How are you?
Hi, I'm
Hi.
fine.
Hi,
And how are you?
Sammy.
Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to
Yeah.
see you. From my understanding, you have some trunk organizers and pets bags to show us,
Yeah.
right? That'll be
Yes.
perfect for road trips. So let us see your products. Let me put your PowerPoint. Okay,
Okay,
please go ahead.
Okay, let me show you our complete to you guys. This is the outside of our factory. We named Bekizo. Bekizo is and my name is Sammy. I'm the marketing and salesman in this company. I have over 10 years of manufacturing experience in the bags industry. And our Bekizo is a reliable supplier of car organizer and bags. And we have over 20 years experience in this bags industry, more than 115 workers. And we have developed more than 1,000 products. And we have 4,000 square meters warehouse. Okay, this is our main product. Is a car trunk organizer. Do you know how to use it? Let's see. This is the function show. On the left side is the messy trunk. Many people have, and on the right side is the organized trunk with, and is organized by our car trunk organizer. It's very clear, and this box is very practical, and it can also used for household organizer. And we have some other styles. This is a hot sale on Amazon. And this is another serial called car seat organizer to install in the car seat bag and to store your daily plans, special for kids. And this is another one car seat organizer store in front, in the front seat to hold the driver's handbags and others. And some other styles to store in the seat bag. And this is the car seat protector. This is installed in the back passenger's seat, and it's to protect your car seat from scratch by the baby seat accessories and dogs and some other strips. This is a car trunk protector to store in the trunk. It's special for pairs. And this the other styles of car seat protectors. Except this car trunk lines, we have some other bags, like this pad bag, cosmetic, and laptop bags, and so on. And this is our workshop. It's very clear, and we welcome you to come visit. We have over 1,115 professional workers. This is our sampling room. We have many products and specialized in the like this. Like you can see, the car tranquilizer and car seat protector. This is a glimpse of our exhibition shows. We have served some brands like automotive brands and Amazon sellers. This is our clients we have served. And the material we used can pass the testing of some eco-friendly requirements. Our factory has authorized by the Disney company, and we have passed the international quality control system. This is the certification. Okay, that's us. Thanks for watching. And
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sammy. Those are great because people are back to normal now. They get to travel, do road trips, and it'll be great if they can bring their pets and kids along with them. Talking about your products, do you have any minimum order quantity like MOQ or any specifics? Yeah.
Yes, we manage OEM order, and MOQ is 500 pieces per style.
Okay, great. And I see that you have different products that fits all sizes and all types of cars. That's really great.
Yes, we accept to customize your own brand and other styles and many fabric products.
Okay, that's great. For those who are interested in Semi's product, please go to globalsources.com/bekizo.co and you can ask her more about her products there. Thank you very much, Semi.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.
And talking about road trips and traveling, the next product will be car camera. So you can ensure you're safe on the road. Hi, Sunshine. Your mic is not on. Can you try talking again? Because I cannot hear you. Seems your mic is not working. And she just
she's not muted, is she? No.
No, she's not. I think the mic on her side is not working.
Yeah. It's okay. We can maybe no, we can't hear you.
We cannot hear you. Can you just use the mic on your laptop instead of your earphones? That might help.
Hello?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we can hear you now. That's great.
Working?
Yeah, it's working now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunshine's company, Sunshine Starshine, offers car camera. So I'll let you do your presentation.
Thank you, Karen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shenzhen Starshine. To give you a general idea of our company and our products, I'm going to show you a PPT. Hope it will work. Let's go. Established in 2006, Shenzhen Starshine has 16 years OEM and ODM experience. We are engaged in producing car cameras, car DVRs, car monitor systems, car parking sensors, etc. We have sold a large number of products to the US, Canada, Australia, Mexico, Europe, getting good feedbacks. Our products are qualified as we have certificates such as SGS, CE, FCC, RSHS, EMAR. We also have third-party audits like SGS, RTS. Now, that's our factory. Now let's move into our products. We do car DVRs. For car black box, we have dash type, and the mirror type. There are different resolution options. The larger the number is, the higher resolution video it will be. We have different screen size options as well. Time-lapse, G-sensor, group recording, built-in GPS, Wi-Fi are some basic functions for our product. Next is our 3G, 4G Android system and the 360 hard camera system. For our 360 surround view camera system, there are multiple recording options. It has great image quality, performance, and reliability. Next is our car monitor system, which is our big selling portion. We have mirror monitors and a standalone version. There are different screen size options and different connector styles, CVBS and HD style. Now let's look at our car parking sensors. We have LED type, monitor type, and the buzzer alarm type. The detecting distance can reach 5 meters. Audio, sound, and the trigger functions are optional. The next page I'm going to show you is our parking sensor system for car. Again, we have like sensor quantity options, sensor color options, different display size options. Last but not least, our car camera system, we have AHD signal version and the CVBS version. They're all weatherproof IP69 and the lens are 170-degree field of view. For all our camera monitor systems, we can do both wired and the wireless version. All in all, please just tell us your requirements. We will recommend the model with the right solution for you. Now, our advantage. We have competitive prices. We offer products with low profit. And we also have low defective ratio, normally under 0.7%. Fast delivery, we are normally in 5 to 20 days. We also have high quality service. We offer 16 years of quality experience and the same day service. All our work is guaranteed. And here's our contact information. Now let's move into I'll show you some products. Physically, here's our 10-inch screen, like mirror type DVR is streaming media recorder, dual 1080 camera type, time-lapse recording, G-sensor function. The next I'm going to show you is our Android system car radio. We have 3 size options, 7-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch, different memory compatible options, and the basic functions are Bluetooth, FM hands-free, Wi-Fi, GPS, built-in microphone, HD signal options. And I'm also going to show you like our LED, as you can see here, our LED parking sensors. Okay. And as you can see from like a precise display, like some monitors, the mirror type, standalone type, like car cameras, different sizes. That's like our hot selling mini box camera in 3 colorways, yellow, white, and black.
Hi, Sunshine. That was great. Thank you very much. So, okay, you have a wide range of mirrors and camera for the cars. So for those who are interested in Sunshine's product, please go to globalsources.com/stars-shine.co, and then you can ask her more about the MOQ and the price, etc. Thank you very much,
Thanks
Sunshine,
for
and I look forward to
watching.
seeing you at the next exhibition.
Thank you,
Thank
Karen.
you.
Bye
Thank
for
you,
now.
Sunshine. Bye.
I guess it's time to be back on the road. All the traveling
Yes.
here.
I know
Okay,
those
up
car
next.
covers were really good.
Yeah. Okay, up next we have Anthony.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome to
What's going
Global
on,
Sources
everyone?
Summit. How are you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing well. How about yourselves?
Doing great,
Great.
doing great. We're learning so much at Global Sources Summit, so lots of different topics. And so, Anthony, you are the Director of Business Development at Data Dive, and that is a change because we've known you from PickFu previously. So, congratulations on the
Yes.
move.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And so, today you're going to be talking about low-hanging fruit and best practices to optimizing using Data Dive. So Data Dive is a relatively new tool out there, and there's a lot of interesting things. And I think a couple of our speakers also mentioned Data Dive in previous sessions. So interested to know how Data Dive can help sellers. So over to you, Anthony. Let's get started.
All right. Thanks so much, Megla. I actually am not going to talk about Data Dive today. I might have messed that up. I'm going to talk about manager experiments today, which is probably the biggest thing in terms of Amazon that nobody's talking about. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to go through a presentation. We'll hear about Data Dive later. It's also mentioned in the presentation, but let's jump right in. Let me just share my screen here. Here we go. Share screen. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to jump in. It shouldn't be too long. And let me know if you can see the slides.
Okay, it should be there soon. It needs some time to load.
Oh, hold on. I have to click the window. There we go. All right, we should be seeing it now, right?
Yes, there.
All right. Okay, cool. This is going to be, I hope it's going to be pretty good. I think there's a lot of good information here. This is going to be best practices on manager experiments. Like Megla said, my name is Anthony. I've been in the e-com industry for about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years now. I started off my career working at Amazon. I left my job there and went to help scale a creative agency in the Philippines called Virtuous Graphics. I exited that business in 2019 and then joined PickFu. One of the things that I really, really enjoy about the industry is that everything is so new that a lot of the concepts, right, people are learning for the first time. And so a lot of Amazon can be very, very technical. And so what I love doing is taking technical concepts and making them engaging and interesting. And so that's a lot of what I did at PickFu. I'm working on that with Data Dive currently, and just love sharing information in the space. So if you've seen my talks previously, you've kind of seen, I always like to start with an essential framework. So with manager experiments, we're going to talk about, okay, what is manager experiments? Why should you care? What's the impact that it can have on your Amazon listings? Then after that, we're going to walk through the best practices, kind of like how to actually do it. And then in the end, I always like to wrap up as well with future considerations. So we're always trying to look into the future and think, okay, what's going to happen? How can we structure our teams and our strategy to not just work now, but what might come down the pipeline looking forward. So let's jump right in with the essential framework. Now, I'm not going to read out this whole definition. This is just pulled from Google, but let's first review what is an A/B test, what is a split test. Now, I think most people are pretty familiar already with a split test, but just again, for a little bit of review, just imagine that you have two different options of something, right? A very simple example might be a button, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to create two different versions of that option. And then to the people that are coming to your website to click on that button, at random, you're going to show 50% of the people, you're going to show half of that group version A, maybe it's an orange button, and then you're going to show the other half of the group at random the blue button. And what you're trying to accomplish with an A/B test is to see, okay, if I make some changes to a button, to an image, to a subject of an email, can I actually change the outcome in terms of people clicking add to cart, right? People buying my product, people interacting with my brand. And so that's really all an A/B test is, right? Just showing half of a group at random, one of two options, and trying to get some data in terms of, is this optimizing in the right direction? And so the really cool thing is that this has been actually on the Amazon ecosystem for quite a while. In fact, Amazon released its own split testing tool more than 3 years ago inside of Seller Central. And this is a totally free to use tool, and it's called Manage Your Experiments, right? And so again, just to recap, for those of you who might not know, Amazon has its own split testing tool inside of its platform. It's totally free, and it actually gives you really cool data. Now, the thing is, when Amazon released Manage Your Experiments, it gave you the ability to test 3 different areas of a listing, right? You could do, first, they came out with A+ content, and then they later expanded that to being able to run split tests on your main image and on your title. So the cool thing as well is this isn't a brand new concept, right? This has been around for 3 years with Manage Your Experiments, but there's also been other split testing alternatives out there. And I say split testing in quotes because it's not, right? Amazon is the most accurate, right? It's actually plugging in, you're talking directly to these customers, but there's been other things that would kind of change your price, right? Change aspects of your listing. And some of us are familiar with those, right? So those are things like Splitly, which has since been discontinued. You've got like Listing Dojo back in the day for the OG sellers out there, and PickFu, which is split testing off of the platform with like a digital focus group, right? So these are some extra options to getting ideas between which creatives are going to be best optimized. Now, the really big takeaway, though, is that I have been working on split testing. I've been working with Manage Your Experiments since it came out, right? Back in the day, my agency, Virtuous Graphics, we used to do Managed Experiments testing for A+ content, right? And so the thing is, I've talked to all of these different agency owners. I've talked to all the aggregators. I've talked to these large sellers. I go to masterminds. I go to all these conferences, and I'm always saying, okay, who here has actually used Managed Your Experiments, right? Who here has really integrated this into their optimization strategy? And even still, right, not many sellers are really widely using this, right? And it's only now just becoming something that people are saying, okay, I think there's actually some value that we can get from actually using these tools. And so I think there's actually a lot of opportunity here. And so now we're going to walk into what Manage Your Experiments actually looks like inside of Seller Central. Now, like Seller Central, right, there's not really a lot of love and care that's gone into this, right? Like the rest of the platform, it's very basic, it's very simple, but the advantage of that means that it's very easy to use and it's very quick to set up. So the biggest question I get asked is like, where do I even find this inside of Seller Central? And so if you navigate inside of your settings tab on the left-hand side, you'll see brands, right? And then when you click into brands, you're going to see Managed Experiments under brands. Once you're inside of your dashboard, right, and I've got obviously some privacy blocks over the Seller Central account here, but it's just going to give you a quick rundown of your active experiments, right, and then the total number of experiments that you've run. You can see the experiment name, right, you can see the ASIN that we're talking about, and then you can see the start date and the status, right? The status is actually really important because this is going to let you know when you actually submit a test on Manage Your Experiments, it's not approved right away. It's not instant, right? You're going to hear this in a minute, but a human being actually approves these. So this is where you're going to actually want to check back and see if your experiment was approved, because they don't all get approved. So if you click this button on the right-hand side, you've got Create New Experiment, right? And what's going to happen when you click that is it's going to give you a list based on the experiment type that you're trying to do, main image, title, A+ content. It's going to give you a list of, okay, here's all of the ASINs, right, that are actually eligible. And so you can go click here and you can select, okay, I'm going to run the experiment on this ASIN, right? Once you've selected the ASIN, then you're going to get into the actual part of the process where you set up the experiment itself. Now, again, what I like about this is if you're managing multiple brands, right, you've got a lot going on, this is really easy to set up. It just takes a few minutes, right? So we've got the experiment name. This is literally just for you, right? Usually related to the product that we're talking about or what the experiment is about. The duration, which is a minimum of 4 weeks, right? They're recommending something like 6 to 8 weeks as the ideal. And then you set the start date. Obviously, it has to be in the future. Now, the hypothesis is really important, again, because this is actually what is seen by the person who's approving the test. And so I'm going to give you a tip in just a few slides about how you can actually leverage the hypothesis for different tests with your main image. But I actually like to, some people just put something random in here. I actually like to take a minute to write out a clear hypothesis, right? If I do this, then I expect this to happen, right? It can be simple, but it should be well thought out, because even if it seems silly and it's optional, a well thought out, just like it's saying here on the screen, right? If you actually spend time to think about the hypothesis, your test is going to be better structured and you're probably going to get better results. So down here, option A is covered up because that would reveal the product, but you'll just note you just upload the image, right? Very, very simple. Once you get the flow of it, it takes 5 minutes to do. And then at the end, this is what it's going to look like when you get your results, right? So it's going to show you your timeline for when you were scheduled, right? When the experiment starts, etc. And then what you're going to see down here at the bottom is some kind of validation of your data, right? So it's going to show you here, okay, version A was the winner, right? The number of units sold, the sales, and then it's going to compare that to your version B. So here, it's not like a massive difference. You're getting 291. This one's pretty even. It was like 50-50, right? So not much of a meaningful difference. But if you did have a bigger difference, then these numbers would be skewed to be larger, right? And it's going to give you your best, most likely, and worst case scenarios based on the numbers, right? So that's what the UI looks like. So a few things to keep in mind about manage your experiments. Number one is not all ASINs are going to be eligible. This has really cleared up a lot since they've opened up the program, but in the beginning, just randomly, some ASINs wouldn't be eligible, even if they had a lot of traffic to the listing. I think most of this has been pretty cleared up. The next thing that's really important is that the minimum testing time frame is 4 weeks, right? And so again, this thing takes like 5 minutes to set up. So it's really a lot of hurry up and wait. You're going and getting your creative assets ready to go. You upload them, and then it's like, okay, wait for 4 weeks. The reason this is also a little bit tricky is because, okay, there's time required for approval, right? This isn't instant. You go and set up the test, you click start test, and then you're going to wait a couple of days. But more importantly is you're also going to wait to get the experiment results. So they're going to tell you it's going to be a week once you start the test, once it actually begins, until you get results. I've waited as long as like closer to 2 weeks. So it really just depends on how much data you're getting. But again, it's a bunch of hurry up and wait. And so what I recommend is just get these things started, let them run in the background, right? And then they're going to keep just providing you this data while you're waiting. So the next thing that I want to cover, that was the essential framework. Next thing I want to cover is best practices. So like I said earlier, there's 3 different asset classes that you can optimize using Manage Your Experiments, and that is main image, title, and A+ content. When we're doing main image optimizations, we're really just trying to, and when I'm talking about optimizations, I'm really just trying to come up with like, what's an alternate version of what I currently have, and will that perform better than what I currently have, right? And I don't know the answer to this. I'm just trying to play around with different things and think about it logically, right? Like Keith was talking about earlier, is this going to help click in someone's brain that they've found what they're looking for? Is this going to satisfy that emotional connection that they have to the product, or to solve this problem that they have in their life, right? And so sometimes this stuff can be a little bit abstract. And so I'm just trying to play around with different things and see what might work. So for main image, right, things you can test in alternate versions is like orientation of the product. If you've got multi-pack items, adding different things like eye candy, if you can add like a small prop or something that's a little bit of a pop of color, or it gives some context as to what the product is, deciding whether or not to show product packaging, right? If you have a wearable product and it's within what's acceptable for your product category, showing the product actually on a model, right? We talked about multi-pack. Anyone who's selling multi-packs, right? Try to think about, okay, could switching the position, right? The orientation of the products change how it's eye-catching, right? Or what the product does. And then as well, just testing vertical size, right? So alternate to having a perfectly square image is having something that's actually a little bit vertically taller, right? It's cropped real tight, and it's going to make the product display a little bit bigger, right? Because things are optimized for mobile. So again, I talked about this, but the key takeaway for main images is it's hard to know exactly what's going to perform better. So try to think critically about it, right? What's going to be more eye-catching? What's going to help someone if they're seeing that main image in the first page of search results, right? They know what they're looking for. What's going to help them while they're scanning be like, oh, there's the one, that's the listing I want to click into. All right. Here's how you leverage the hypothesis section. Yeah, this is kind of like a little hack. Sometimes it works. I'd say about maybe 50% success. If you're in a category, right, where you might be pushing the terms of service a little bit, right? You're showing the product maybe on an alternate to a white background, right? You're putting some extra props. A good way to go about this, a way to kind of what I say is getting permission, is because these experiments are approved by a human. You can actually leverage that hypothesis section and think that, okay, this person that's approving this test, they have some kind of SOP for how to know what to actually approve, what to not approve. And you got to think this SOP, right, is coming from Amazon. And so if I go there and I'm like, hey, I want to put a prop in my main image because it's going to help me get more clicks and more sales, that's not going to get approved, right? But if I go in and now, right, and this is coming from my Amazon background, they preach every day about they want to be the most customer-centric company in the world, right? And so you can imagine that the SOPs for these approvals are going to be based on that concept. So instead of going in and saying, hey, I'm testing this because I want more sales, hey, I'm testing an alternate of the main image, which includes this prop because this is a dog product, and it's going to help the customer to have a better buying experience and know that they found the product that they're looking for, right? Because this is in the interest of the customer. It's helping them have a better buying decision. It's helping them have a better buying journey, rather. And so that is a quick tip about how you can not only leverage the hypothesis section to kind of like get permission, but it also helps you just to frame your hypotheses in a better way. Another tip, right? And obviously I'm still a big fan of PickFu, been using it for years. PickFu is actually a really great way to get some validation of your images prior to testing. So come up with your alternate versions there, run them through the platform, see what the feedback is, and see how you can make future iterations. So again, big hurry up and wait for manager experiments, right? PickFu is something that you can do in the meantime so that you know when, okay, I'm putting these things up into the platform, right? I know actually what I'm putting up there is good. I've gotten some feedback versus just going with the first design. Okay, so one thing I'll say about that was main images. On title optimizations, I'd say that title optimizations need to be based on keyword data, right? So this is something that you shouldn't like go and just ask someone, hey, what title do you think looks better? Because it really doesn't matter. It really comes down to should be done from a mathematical standpoint of like, okay, I need these words in my title. I once tried to use manager experiments when I first started using it to optimize a title of one of my products, and I crushed the conversion rate. I took it down 25% in one day, and it took quite a while to get it back up. So make sure before you test title optimizations, make sure it's researched. Data dive, again, this presentation is not about data dive, but it's a legitimately good way to do this, right? Do the research with data dive, come up with a title, right? In battle of the titles, see which one has more ranking juice. And then if you come up with a title that has more ranking juice than your current title or the range of competitors, go and test that against your current and manager experiments. And I think you might be surprised to see the results. They're probably going to be good. So for A+ content, it's just, right, main image, very locked in terms of what you can do. Title, even more so, right? Limited characters, limited in terms of what you can put in there, limited in terms of what's going to be effective. A+ content, when it comes to coming up with an alternate version, there's so much more that you can do. So a couple of quick ones that I like to do if you're going to try to go to your creative team and say, come up with an alternate for me that we can run through manager experiments. Here's some options. You can do text heavy, right, versus text light, right, one that's very graphics heavy. You can try different color variations. So even inside of your branding scheme, right, you might just be able to switch kind of the color palette, the style, right? I've seen this done really well to match different seasonal, right? It's like the A+ is kind of testing and they're figuring out which color schemes are going to be the most appealing during different times of the year. As well with the A+, it's all broken down into modules. So like I like to try different order of information where in the past I have something at the bottom. Let's try and see if it's further up. Try to change, how people are processing that document. As well, another really quick and easy one to do is if you do or do not have a brand story in your A+ content, create an alternate version that actually has the brand story in there. Try to see which one is going to get a higher conversion rate. And then I also, if you have a technical product, that is a great spot where you can put technical information, right? So somewhere in your image gallery, right, image 2 or 3, you're like, hey, the fit guide, the sizing guide, go scroll down to the A+ to get the full breakdown, right? This really technical product, scroll down to see the full breakdown and then try to put some in the A+. So this is where we wrap up. I hope that I'm okay on time. This is where I leave everyone with future considerations. Again, just trying to be forward thinking. Everything moves quick. And so if we spend a little bit of time thinking about it, we can tend to be more prepared and get our team set up, right, to really take the strategy we need to. So a few things to keep in mind about manage your experiments in the future. Okay, probably the biggest one is that there have been many concerns about the accuracy and timeliness of data. So one of the things that I realized, and a lot of the people that I've been using managed experiments have realized is, and this doesn't happen all the time, but data can flip pretty easily throughout an experiment. So just because an experiment is starting in one way doesn't mean it's going to necessarily end up in that direction. And so this is something that's important to keep in mind, right? When you're going through and you're doing your optimizing, a lot of people are like, yeah, it's a 4-week test, but I can just start it. And if after a couple of days it's going bad, then I just stop it, right? Kind of defeats the whole purpose of the test. But again, this is a concern that people have. The second one, and this is something that I learned when I was at ASGTG in New York, it was like a couple of weeks ago. I was talking to someone from Oslam Group, and he had actually run an AA test, right? So if you think A/B test, 2 different versions, an AA test is, as you can imagine, 2 exactly the same things, but running it as a test. And now, given this test was only 2 out of 4 weeks in, he was saying that the results from this AA test was that one of them, for whatever reason, was getting a 15% higher conversion rate. So obviously that wouldn't make any sense if you're showing people the exact same thing, right? What is the impact of this on the data? More follow-up required there, but as you can imagine, right, Seller Central, they sometimes release tools and they might be intended for certain users and not really work well with everyone, but I don't think it's a reason to just write off the whole program, right? It just doesn't potentially work or might have bugs sometime. The other thing too is right now, so we've got main image, we've got title and A+, right? In terms of what we can test with manager experiments, I would expect that in the future, they're going to be rolling out more features. And the one that I'm really hoping for is that it's going to center around image gallery and how people are actually interacting with your image gallery, right? How long on average they're spending on images and how far they're getting into the gallery. And the reason I think that's going to happen is because the more that I'm learning about how the algorithm works, it actually has a lot to do not only with, okay, is someone adding to cart? Are they making a purchase? But how are they actually reacting, right, and interacting with your product detail page? And for a lot of us who are going through and optimizing images, it would be really, really helpful to know where are people dropping off, right? Where are they spending time, and use that to optimize. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to get some kind of flexibility there to either get some data or do some testing with maybe different orders of image gallery, but we will see. Next thing is manage your experiments works very well, much better actually, in fact, with larger accounts, right? You might be eligible to test an ASIN with manager experiments, but if you're just not getting a lot of traffic, it's going to be tough to kind of get any meaningful data, right? So just something to keep in mind. It was definitely created for those larger accounts. And then the last thing that I'm going to leave everyone with is you got to change your mindset when it comes to doing this active testing, right? This iterative testing. And that is, remember that being wrong is only a single point in time, right? So when I'm running tests, I've run many tests where it goes badly, right? It doesn't move in the right direction. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter if I've got this line and it trends down at a single point in time. What's important is that, okay, I do something that's wrong, I try to learn from it, I try to correct it. And on the long term, it's just going up marginally, and those gains are going to get compounded. Like I said earlier, not a lot of sellers are using this. Not a lot of agencies are using this like super actively across all their ASINs, right? Having tests running in the background. The vast majority of people, very, very few people are doing that. And so if you can go and apply this strategy, right, and start picking up a percentage, 2 percentage points, maybe even bigger through these managed experiments tests, and you can do this month after month after month, 1%, 1%, 1%, now you're going to have gained this increase in performance on your listing. And it's not like your competitors can go and just like go and copy, right, and go and do that. They got to start from square one and actually take the time to run the tests, to make the failures, to learn from it, and to get that going up over time. So with that being said, that's where I'm going to wrap up for today. Anyone who wants, feel free to reach out. If you have any questions, we can send over the slides later. And that's what I've got for today.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Just one question, because you said it's okay to be wrong. What's the most common mistakes you have seen people doing so that they can avoid it first?
I mean, like, I think it's, most of the times you'll see some examples, maybe people will share them and they got like double-digit increases in conversion rate, and it's like they're really excited about it. But that doesn't really happen so often. Most of the time, it's actually going to be closer to 50-50 from what I've seen, right? Sometimes you'll get out of those ranges, but like I think the biggest mistake is that people are they're like, I'm not going to deal with this, or they're just too nervous that they're going to make real negative impacts to the listing. And so I think that's probably the more likely scenario, that unless you're making changes to your title without, really doing the keyword research, main images is probably not going to be massive, so just try something.
Okay. So do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, I don't see any questions. Guys, let us know if you have any questions for Anthony. Type them in the comments. We will get Anthony to respond. But I don't see any questions as of now.
Okay. Good. Anyways, you can always reach out to Anthony at datadive.tools. And there's a lot to explore in that website as well. And once again, congratulations on the new appointment.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay,
thanks, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So up next, we have Tina. Hi, Tina. Are you there? Seems like she's muted and her camera is not connected yet. Anyways, because many of the speakers were talking about PickFu and then DataDive. These are really useful tools for you to maximize your return on the different ETL platforms. So do look into their websites and you'll find a lot of resources there. And of course, all the other platforms and resources that our speakers are providing, do take a look, do take a full advantage of them. And also the freebies and discount that our speakers are offering. So let's see. I think Tina is having.
Oh yeah, she's having connectivity. Okay, let's just give her a couple of minutes to sign in. But I think you're right. As Amazon sellers, it's just so important to have some sort of a tool, and all of this information is available. So why not, make use of all of this information? Amazon provides this data. So let's see. Tina has joined back. Is she?
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, there she is.
Yes. Okay, let's try this again. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, how are you? I'm so sorry. I seem to be having issues and I just changed to Chrome. So hopefully that won't happen again.
Yeah, Chrome works better with StreamYard.
Cool. Okay. So Tina, welcome to Global Sources Virtual Summit.
I'm in Chrome right now and keeping my fingers crossed.
Oh, looks like she doesn't have a good connection. It's a bit choppy. Can you hear her clearly, Karen?
I can't hear her. And her image is frozen.
Her video.
Yeah. Okay, how about
why don't
Tina?
We go ahead and Stephen.
Yeah. Tina, why don't you connect back later, and then we'll have Stephen first. Hi, Stephen. Are you okay? Yep. Hi, Stephen.
Hi. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, it's good to see you again. Stephen is from Gamba, and Gamba, being one of our headline sponsors, has a lot to offer. So what have you got for us this time?
Well, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with you.
Of course, of course.
Cool. And I'll go through a short presentation that we have.
And once again, people, don't forget, Gamba is offering us a free ebook on product differentiation strategy. So go to bit.ly/Gamba-ebook, and then you can get a free copy of their offer. And Neil had a really great presentation yesterday as well. So
awesome.
If you have, if people have missed that yesterday, go back for the replay. I'm sure you'll learn a lot from it.
He's so awesome, just like a wealth of knowledge. We're so lucky to have him here at Gamba. So really excited that he got to spend some time with you all yesterday. Let me see. I'm trying to get this up. Now I seem to be having a little bit of trouble with Chrome. Let me see if I can backtrack a second and get it to work.
No worries. No worries. Yeah, seems like tech is not on our side today.
Not on our side. Let's see real quick.
But Neil mentioned a lot about how all the different patents that he had when he was doing design, and especially when he was with Dyson. Those were so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big things that we've done really well at Gemba is really tried to go out and hire, the best of the best that's available. And, certainly on our staff, we're going out and constantly vetting, a network of folks to provide the best experts from around the world. And, to be able to keep up with them, one thing that's important is that we actually have some of the best creators on our staff as well. So it's really awesome to use our team of amazing creators who've worked in incredible places like Dyson and launched really amazing products, and now have the ability to work with other creators by vetting, the best experts for them. So it's really awesome that you got to spend time with him, and glad that the rest of the community got to meet him as well.
Yes.
Let me try one more time here. I'm going to try. If not, I'll kind of wing it a little bit in this modern world. So hold on one more second.
Well,
You can try
Caroline
sharing
sent
screen. Don't try to
actually-
share a tab.
The lucky thing is Caroline sent me your file as a backup this morning.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure Caroline always saving me, so I really appreciate it. Cool. So yeah. So we're Gemba. Karen, thanks for the nice introduction. You can go ahead to the next slide. It will explain a little bit about me. How did I get here? I started my first company was in the pet product industry called Pride Bites. To make it all short is we got on the show Shark Tank, expanded really, really quickly into about 3,500 stores throughout North America. So, currently and to date, I've sold millions of products, created hundreds of products, sold millions to date, was awarded the 40 under 40 in the pet industry, and had a product that was named to the best product of the pet industry in 2012. So product really is in my blood before me. I got to watch my grandfather do it. So been a long history of it, but that's who I am today. I started Gemba a couple years back with the idea of really making it easier to do what I did at Pride Bites, going through all the challenges of launching my own products and my own brand. And you can go to the next slide if that's okay. Awesome. So at Gemba, we see a lot of different creator problems, and it can go from somebody who has not yet started their journey all the way to that experienced creator who has launched many, many products, maybe has thousands of SKUs a day. It all ranges in terms of the problems that we all face. But it goes from where do you start on your idea? How do you make it happen? All the way to, hey, where should I relocate? Should I focus on India? Should I focus on Vietnam? Is there a better path for me? All these things are creator problems that we face alongside the journey here at Gemba. You can go to the next slide. Perfect. And so our general, concepts here and our vision here at Gemba is that making product is super challenging, and making successful products is even harder. I was listening to the gentleman before talking about all the things that you have to do to get your product ready, and the listings and marketing, etc. So it is super challenging to do it all, and making it is really the hardest part from the beginning. You can go to the next slide. So along the way, you're going to have a lot of different contributors to your journey. You're going to need people that help you with concepting and product ideas, people that help you identify the market and research the market to make sure that you're developing the right price points and the right positioning. You'll need design experts that can actually help you go from back of the napkin to that physical concept and drawing that you will hand to the factory. You'll need marketing folks that can help you sell and position yourself online. You'll need development partners, logistics partners, and finally fulfillment partners to send that out your way to the customer. And you can go to the next slide. So who are we at Gemba, and why are we positioned to help? Well, we help with that entire journey from research, design, sourcing, and manufacturing. We have over 500 amazing design experts in our network, amongst 2,200 vetted factories from China, India, Vietnam, Mexico, Central and South America, the US, and Eastern Europe now. We're committed to e-commerce creators and the space in general. We raised our Series A a little over 11 million last year, and ready to really take the creator community by storm and provide just tons of resource and guidance to you as you launch your product. You can go to the next slide. So we think about your journey broken down into phases. Here, amongst them are research and concepting. Concepting is bringing your idea to life. So back of the napkin onto paper. Design, physically getting that designs together so you can go hand them to a factory and they know what to create. Sourcing, production, and logistics. And where you're at in the journey doesn't matter. You need different steps along the way. And Gemba can actually cater to every one of those areas. No more do you have to go to a design firm, leave that design firm, go find a sourcing company, leave the sourcing company, go back to your design firm, have them help you make your design files ready for the factory, etc. So we can help with that entire process. And if you want to jump around, or if you want to start from start to finish, we can guide you however you wish in terms of your process. You can go to the next slide. And the way that we started off is really classifying your product into 3 buckets. The first one is branded. That's as if I took a cup here, grabbed a cup and slapped my logo on top of the cup here and went ahead and used my marketing and sales skills to test the market and sell something where I have an opportunity. That would be the branded. We usually like to suggest this product type when you're trying something out or looking to an industry to get your feet wet. That would be a great product type to start with. Customize, which allows you to adjust 10% of the feature set of that product. So again, I have this cup, I have this mason jar, and I've heard that my hand gets really cold on the mason jar. So I'm going to go ahead and add a handle to that mason jar, and that's going to improve about 10% of the feature set, but not enough to have me really adjust molds or to think about adjusting the item overall. It really allows me to work within what the factory has, but also maybe cater to some feature sets and some attributes that I'm reading about and hearing some reviews about. Finally, if you're ready to jump in, at Pride Bites, I was ready to go. I knew I wanted to be in the pet industry. I knew I focused specifically on toys first and wanted to expand outwards from there. But specifically, I wanted to take that unique journey. This is that product that you haven't seen yet on the shelf that you want to create from scratch. So I'm going to develop my own designs, my own molds. I'm not going to use anything else that's out there. More steps in that journey. But again, Gemba's here to really help you through any type of that product type that you'll experience along the way. You can go to the next slide. Perfect. One example we love to speak about, my good friend, Eric Howard, he launched a business called Cali Weights. Fantastic product. He went the unique route after testing some things amongst the branded product type journey. And what he learned is that this space for functional, fashion-oriented fitness is continuing to grow, and specifically, with bangles, so to speak. So he looked into really changing the normal weights that you'd see. And I can envision my mom going to jazzercise, throwing on her ankle weights and her wrist weights. And he said, I'm going to do this differently. So he really went out and he redesigned the wrist weights into something that's stylish so that you could wear it around where it wouldn't look like as if you were having something that was functional and fitness, that was something that you're wearing on a day-to-day basis. So really awesome, came with us, looked at the design. He even started in the research element to see what price points on the market would be effective, then came to us from concepting into design, making all the CAD models ready for the factory to go and produce. Then again, we found the factory through our sourcing and our partner relationships amongst our 2,200 factories within our network, and finally helped him ship those all the way to his Amazon fulfillment center, where he could then distribute them through FBA or any other Amazon channels. Again, I think, to think through, you can go to the next slide, just kind of, describing what I said previously, but really the journey of what it was. I think what's important is to focus on where you're at. What's your goal? What's your end goal that you have in launching a product? And what kind of investment are you willing to make? Is it your first one? Have you done multiple products before? Have you launched multiple products or created multiple products? These are all things I think I would be considering when I enter that phase to say, hey, what product do I want to create, or where do I want to go with this next? I think it will really allow you to kind of think through your end goals and your vision by aligning what it is at the very beginning when you choose that product development journey that you want to go down. Finally, I'm open for any questions that you have. But essentially, we want to be that all-encompassing one-stop shop, that you don't have to have a fragmented experience when you go through the development process. You should really have that fluid nature, that each department speaks to each other and doesn't work in silos, that they collaborate amongst your journey together and allow you that singular vision to go from back of the napkin to on the shelf and ready to sell.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Absolutely.
Let me just take the slides away. Okay. So
Thanks
if
for
there's-
saving me, first of all.
Yeah. So what is something that you think people must get from Gamba? The first, if they're a beginner to product development, what is the first thing they should approach you for?
You know, we love to start off in the ideation phase, I think even as early as research. So I think it depends where you're at in identifying the markets that you're in or the price points of the products, maybe even the feature set. These types of things that we think through, kind of aligning your vision spec, that time, spec, and cost that will kind of guide your product through that journey. We have some awesome ideation packages that if you don't know what you want to do yet, but you want to spend some time as the product designer to get those ideas out of your head and onto paper, that's an excellent way to start. If you're already looking to dive in, we can also jump ready to find you a factory partner or a sourcing partner if that's something that you're ready to go. You know what your product is, and you just need a little bit of guidance to get there.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Stephen, so you cover different sourcing markets like China, India, Vietnam. What are you seeing in the alternative sourcing markets? What trends are you seeing, especially in India? I mean, we're doing an India sourcing workshop next month. And so I think there's a lot of interest in sourcing from alternative markets. But what are some of the challenges and what are the trends that you're seeing in these alternative markets, especially India?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a huge shift in India. I would generally say if you're not already thinking about India or have started looking there, you should start right now. I think the race to really build India into what China has developed over the years is really growing so quickly under our eyes. And I think it's a huge opportunity. Not only the talent level, I think is fantastic, the capabilities, the structure, the infrastructure is all being developed really right before our eyes. So I strongly suggest that if you're making products right now, it would always make sense to diversify your supply chain. The things that we're seeing to keep in mind is that you really need to be buttoned up on your product. So get your tech packs done. Go in there not with the back of the napkin sketch, right? If you want to do that, you're going to get received the same way, right? So be professional about going to those markets and really explain to them your opportunity, because I think they're really great entrepreneurs there as well, thinking about, hey, what's my next place that I can invest in, or what's my next opportunity? So I love Vietnam. Also doing a lot of stuff in Mexico, although the demand there for factories is really far exceeding the supply, I think. So in terms of alternatives, as shipping prices, I think, start to regulate and lower a little bit, I think everybody should start looking at India as an alternative.
That really coincides with our upcoming India sourcing workshop.
Sounds good. Anytime.
Because Megla is an expert in sourcing from India, and she'll be hosting a workshop next month.
Awesome.
Talking about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that would be great. Okay, so thank you very much, Stephen.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Sounds good. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Take care, Stephen. Bye.
Okay, so I guess Tina is having connection issues, so let's hope everything will be okay on her side. But let's go to the prices and wrap this session up.
Let's go to the prizes. So what is the first prize, Karen?
The first prize would be a free account audit or a 30 minutes consultation call with Marknology. That is the company that is what Andrew is with. Well, his company, I should say. Andrew did a presentation earlier in this session, and he is so resourceful when it comes to branding. He has been doing branding his whole life, basically, since he was a kid. So, yeah, so it's sure a treasure to get a consultation with this company. So, Megla, what would the question be to win this prize? So, people be fast. Whoever gets the answer right will get a free account audit or a 30 minutes consultation call with Marknology.
Yes, so you've got to be fast, and we're going to show a question on the screen, and the first person to get the correct answer is going to be the winner. So let's get ready, fingers on your keyboards, and here is your question. So we've been talking a lot about branding throughout the summit, and this is a branding related question. So what is the name of Amazon's program for brands to verify and control their brand on Amazon, on the Amazon marketplace? And if you're an Amazon seller, you should definitely know this. If you are an aspiring Amazon seller, it is extremely important to know this, because this will help you increase sales on Amazon and basically get more exposure. You get better data from Amazon. You also have more opportunities to display your brand with A+ content. Okay, I think I'm giving too many hints now.
Well,
so let us know the name of this program. And quite a lot of our speakers have mentioned this program throughout their sessions as well.
yes. So as a test of if you've been listening or if you have been studying your Amazon information recently. So do we have anyone
Let's see, we don't have any. We don't have any answers yet. Let's just give people a couple more seconds, because there's a delay. And yesterday, suddenly, all the answers were coming through.
Yeah, and especially tech is not on our side today, so we better give it a bit more time. Yeah,
so guys, let us know. You can also Google. You can also Google if you want. If you don't know the correct answer, you have the time. Google the answer and let us know.
We have
Project Zero. Emma says Project Zero. No, that's not the correct answer. It's not the correct answer. Okay, I'll give you a hint. There are two words, and the first word is brand. That's a big hint.
Yes. So, Emma, you want to give it another try? You have any idea what's the second word? So it's brand something. Or Stella, Amazon, because it might be a bit of a night for some of our audience, so might not be here.
I think it's a difficult one, huh? I thought this would be easy.
Yes.
Okay, the other two are easy. Oh, there we have it. So we've got Emma. Emma says
actually,
brand registry. Yes.
On my side is a different winner, but maybe yours. We'll go with your answer, your pick. Okay.
Yes, it's Emma here. Okay, so Emma, congratulations. You have won a free consultation call with Marknology. And what you need to do is send us an email at gsevent@globalsources.com. You can take a picture of this email address or just take note of it and let us know that you have won this prize, and then we'll help you claim it. So congratulations, Emma.
And for those that weren't, for those that weren't picked, don't worry, we still have two more prizes for this session. The next one will be a free listing translation offered by Vanessa. So it'll be translation between English and Spanish. That'll be a good opportunity for you to explore a new market, because as she has mentioned, sometimes when using the AI translation might not be as accurate or good for marketing purpose. So so do try to get this prize, and then you can open up a new horizon. Okay, so what is the question?
So here's the question, and this is an easy one. You just have to state true or false. That's all you need to state as the answer. And here's your question. State true or false. ACOS, in the world of Amazon, ACOS stands for advertising cost of sales. State true or false.
Okay. ACOS stands for advertising cost of sales. Is that true or false? Yeah, the delay is sometimes weird. I wish things would be faster.
Silence, suspense.
Oh, wow. We got one already.
Oh, yay. We got a winner. Stella, yes. Congratulations. True, that's right. This is advertising cost of sales. And if you're an Amazon seller, this is a very important metric that you need to be on top of. So we've got quite a few people saying it's true. And we've got Amazion, he's back. How are you, Amazion? Good to see you again here. So you were there at the previous summit. So Stella, congratulations. And please send us an email at gsevent@globalsources.com so that we can help you claim your prize. Okay, Karen, what's the third prize?
Okay, last but not least, as mentioned, we have an India sourcing workshop coming up, hosted by our super host and expert in India sourcing, Magla. It'll be hosted on June 17th and 24th. Yeah, we have so many events ongoing, so I kind of sometimes get messed up with the dates. So it'll be a closed door workshop, limited seats. So please go to, well, if you want to see more information, you can go globalsources.com/India-workshop. But before that, you might want to just get a free admission to it. If you get this question right, it'll be absolutely free to attend, and you'll get tips on how to source from India, how to find the right suppliers, etc. There's a lot to learn. Too much to mention right here. Yeah. So, anyways, let's go on with the question.
Yes.
So,
and as Stephen was saying previously, it's so important to explore alternative markets, and now is the right time to get into India to explore that market because it's just booming. Okay, here is the question, and this is also going to be a true or false question. So very simple. Let's see if anybody gets this right. Here's your question. State whether this is true or false. FOB stands for freight on boat. Now, this is an Incoterm that is used in trade, in international trade. So is this correct? Freight on boat. Is that correct?
This one should be an easy one.
Let's see. Yeah. For somebody who's not familiar with international trade, it might be. Okay, so, oh yes, Emma has got it right. Emma is the first one. False, because the correct term is freight on board, not freight on boat. So I was trying to trick you guys. Amazon says true. So quite a few people are saying true. And yeah, okay, cool. So congratulations, Emma. You won
and
another
we'll get
prize.
to see. Yeah, and we'll get to see you at the workshop next month. So don't forget to, don't forget to email us at gsevent@globalsources.com and just combine two prizes in one email, and then our staff will get back to you. So yeah, I guess that's it for the session. What are we expecting for next session, Megla?
Yeah, next session is going to be our last session, and again, very interesting conversations about Amazon Middle East. So not a lot of people are exploring alternative Amazon markets, which are growing pretty fast. So we have Crystal from AMZ Scout talking about Amazon Middle East. And then we've also got Vitaly talking about Amazon attribution, which is, again, super important. And the last session is going to be really interesting. We've got Ben Leonard, who is going to be closing the summit, and he's talking about the power of brand, why brand is everything when it comes to an exit. Ben Leonard is from Ecom Brokers, and they help brands, sell their businesses to aggregators. So it's going to be a very insightful session as well.
Yes, and we'll have a grand prize at the end of the next session, which will be a free trip to Hong Kong at the next Global Sources exhibition. So do come back to the Global Sources social media in about, let's say 5 hours. We'll be back in about 5 hours. Yeah, and then we'll kick off for the next session. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. See you later. Bye.
Bye.